We're back. We made it. A week in Medellin. We're still alive. We're doing our thing. It's slick and thick.
Shit, we just touched down.
Just touched down.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
And that is the sweet siren sound of my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, at 6'3", 200 pounds, and every one of them is a problem. The master of punks, the tamer of sages, the CEO of the RNC, Slick Mickey Gall, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, G?
How we doing, man? What's going on?
All right, let's keep it real.
Yes.
We're a little annoyed.
I'm a lot annoyed.
But you know what makes it a little better?
What's that?
Is we're joined by two guys who the audience is aware of.
Well, I'm not annoyed by that.
No, I'm saying that's what's making it better. That's
Yes.
just keeping. I thought Gerard was going to get arrested today.
Gerard was close to getting arrested today.
I was either going to have to get arrested with you, or I was going to have to be like, as they're arresting you, be like, hey, G, like, give me the car key.
Yeah.
We gotta figure something out.
I was about to be detained. I was going full Stan Marsh. I thought this was America.
Well, we'll get into it all.
Yes.
But first, we got to introduce our great guests. We got, everybody knows. Everyone's been reaching out. Everybody knows. Everyone's been talking about battle bars. They've been seeing us rock with the battle bars. We're rocking the battle bars every time.
We've been chopping battle bars
and you got the gentleman who brought you battle bars. We got Alex Witt and G-Dubs up in the house. Hey, welcome. About time.
Welcome.
He's a first-time, long-time.
First-time, long-time.
Big fan.
Got a super fan over here, always
That's
sharing
what's
our
up.
stuff.
I would flash you guys if I was driving past this.
Well, let's go. Like, what are we doing? We're doing this for the ratings, for the ladies. Let's go.
Just make sure you come up on the mic a little bit. You can do whatever you want,
Rookie
though.
move.
Show them, yeah.
Oh, he's laid back. He's laid back
chilling
in the
like
cut.
a villain. I see what you're doing. I like the
relaxing.
style.
I gotta tell you,
your
man.
intros, your guys' intros.
Both of you guys. I mean,
I'd make him say
fantastic cheek to jaw ratio on both of you fine young gentlemen. Broad shoulders. What is this? Is this the battle bar? Are you your own models? Is that what we have going on here?
Basically.
So like so if I made battle bars, I'd probably have to like farm out the modeling, I would imagine, so much. Yeah.
You'd be like a compilation of all the battle bars.
I'm the battle bars before picture.
Yeah.
Professional before battle bars, after battle bars.
You don't give yourself enough credit, my man.
Yeah, so dude, so talk to us about it. Where does battle bars come from, and why are they so fucking tasty?
Dude, imagine being overseas in the military, and the only thing you had to eat was MREs, a shitload of water, but like this big of water, right? And Cliff Bars.
For people that don't know what MREs are, though, I have a great friend, Chris Zafiro, one of the best guys I know, and he said the worst part of his 2 tours in Afghanistan wasn't the IEDs, it wasn't getting shot out, it wasn't horrible chain of command, it was the MREs.
To be fair, though, everyone had their favorite MREs.
He liked the quesadilla or something Spanish. He liked fajita, maybe.
Yeah, I was a sucker for beef stew myself. I like beef stew.
Yeah.
You know?
He
But,
also
like,
told me they had like interesting ways of like kind of zhuzhing up your MRE.
Oh, dude,
you take a little bit of one, you mix it with another.
Well, we used to make MRE bombs.
MRE bombs.
Oh, that's a real thing. So there's like a heating packet. Like this was back in early 2000s, but like, so I don't know what they're doing now. They probably have like something that you just snap your fingers and it makes it hot. But like basically you take this.
It's
like,
probably vegan. If it's the military
it's
now,
vegan.
it's probably like vegan.
It's vegan.
Cruelty-free, penicillin pills or something. Yeah.
Definitely gluten-free. Definitely vegan. But like you take this heater, you drop it in the water, and then is like you wait, you close the thing, and you wait, and it heats up, and there's nowhere for the heat to go. So like what we do is we take like 3 of them, we drop it in the water.
Pressure bakes pipes.
So, no joke, man. There was this one time, we used to work with all these Iraqi guys, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but it's been 20 plus years.
Iraqi is not a slur. That's all right. That's what they are. They're just Iraqi.
Thank you.
That's okay.
So like
Dude, you can't go Iraqi with a hard R though. I'm gonna need you to call them Iraqis.
So there was
Wackies? Like a baby.
allegedly. Can I say that? They can say that.
Oh yeah. By the
Allegedly.
way, guys, if you don't know by now, if you think you're gonna get a full serious sentence out, good luck. We're gonna fuck with you the whole time. But yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten a full series on that. All right, so allegedly, we may or may not have put 3 of these like heating packets in a bottle of water, like a big like thing of water, right? And then dropped it down where these Iraqi guys were sleeping that we lived in, right? And what happens is these things go. And like we were cool with these guys, man. These guys we fuck with each other. Like these are guys. We're like just like our boys. So like we drop it down and it lands. Except this thing landed literally right next to this guy's face. Like,
boiling water.
Dropped and it was like right here. And then all of a sudden, we're waiting and I go, oh my, we're dead. We're gonna get in trouble. We're screwed. And then just boom. And this is at like 3 a.m. in the middle of like an oil platform, and then all of a sudden everyone gets up, wakes up like, what the fuck? What's going on? And we're like, yeah, that wasn't anything bad. We're just bad people.
That's like, it sounds like a villain origin story. It's just like a good Iraqi. He's just sitting there sleeping.
Yeah.
These guys are like, it would be funny if we dropped boiling water on this guy while he's sleeping.
This dude is probably leading Hamas right now.
I didn't notice what I never noticed what
It's your fault.
I never noticed what a nice soothing voice you have.
Thank you. Some people
right?
call it
So
raspy.
once you're strapped in with the headphones too, like wow,
it's like
wow.
It's very,
I feel
it's
like
like
I-
very
right?
NPR.
Fucking
I'll charge you
businessman, military badass, and a fucking voice like that.
I have called him when I sat on the toilet before because the soothing voice just
This
kinda
isn't a
helps-
joke.
helps
your
the movement?
bowels move. Yeah, it just
All
helps
right.
him. Helps
This
your
is not a
bowels
joke.
move.
He is
Expect a phone call
actually-
from me in about 35, 45 minutes.
He has actually called me in the middle of the night, like not in the middle of the night, but late night, and I'm like, "Yo, man, what's going on?" And he's just literally
Alex,
taking a dump.
I have my pants off, and I need to talk to you. So how did you two meet? GW, tell us about you and how you got involved in this.
Yes.
With Battle Bars, yeah, we met maybe a couple years ago, and it was through a mutual acquaintance, John Brinkus, the sports science guy, who was actually working as a CFO or the CMO at Killcliff at the time. And that's when we met, and so we just kind of hit it off, man.
Yeah.
And I started helping him out over at Battle Bars a little bit with the marketing, social media, and just general consulting on the marketing side. But yeah, it's been a couple of years. It's great. It's a great company. It's a great product.
Like when you I feel like, and I'm like, no homo here, man, but like, you meet guys and like you meet good people around you that you want to like, you trust and you want to be around. That's how you build a business. Is you meet people, you trust them, and then you're like, cool, I'm gonna ride with these guys because there's so many slimy people in business.
Yeah, it's rare when you find people you actually connect with, and then when you do connect with people like that, it's important like to kind of harvest that relationship and take care of it because it is rare. It's more rare than
Yeah, I mean that's why
than
like
it should be.
that's why like the Killcliff FC deal is such a no-brainer for us because everyone is so cool and everyone just wants to see everyone succeed like you and like everyone else. Like your sister's ridiculous, she's incredible, and all the fighters there. Like you could get a guy like Gilbert Burns like just hanging out like a normal dude, or like all these guys like yourself or anyone, doesn't matter, right? And that's hard to find. It does, and especially in our business because everyone is trying to one up another person, and it's very hard to do that. And like, especially like on LinkedIn, like you go on LinkedIn and these.
I can't handle LinkedIn for even more than 10 seconds.
This is
I had to make one for school.
Yeah.
And I've like never done anything, but I'm on like
I
I
feel
get like requests on it all the time. I see it in my email.
Yeah.
What
Dude,
even is that?
I feel like corporate.
everyone just it's. You ever seen
I
the?
had to do it to pass the class.
Wait, do you ever see the picture? There's this like meme that goes around. It's like it's an elephant like with its trunk, but it's blowing itself with a trunk. He's like, that's what LinkedIn is because you're just talking about how awesome you are the whole time.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's literally it.
It's like Facebook for resumes, basically.
That's it. And like, but
Really?
like all these
All
other
right.
brands are like, it's like I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to actually build my business. I'm trying to work. I'm grinding, and there's all these people who are just talking about how awesome they are all day long, and I'm like, I respect it. Like that's
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's a play.
that's what I do most of my day. But like, I don't type it on the internet.
Somehow,
I just
some
tell
way,
everybody I'm with.
Yeah. Somehow, some way, they're actually not making LinkedIn sound as bad as it is. It's way worse than they're even saying it. Like, because say what they're saying with all the arrogance and the narcissism, but through the lens of ridiculous Gen Z, hyper political, social justice, corporate jargon.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a Mad Libs fucking woke pander fest that somehow comes around to you being great. Like here at my company, we've committed to going carbon zero and diversifying our staff. And oh, by the way, I'm the CEO. And, and stock valuation's up 25%.
The best is when you get like I get hit up on LinkedIn all day.
With pants on or off?
Both.
Depends how late night it is and if I'm talking to GW.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, but I get hit up and like normally I'll try to be respectful and I'll try to reply to people as much as I can. But then I get like, this person wants to connect, and then next to his name is like she, her, and like I'm like, oh, you're out, you're out. I don't have time for this. Because,
I'm the same way.
Like,
but on Tinder, as soon as I see pronouns, out.
Tinder, Grindr, same thing, whatever. It doesn't
Pronouns on Grindr, unnecessary, out.
Yeah.
This guy's not serious about being gay.
I want to be. If I'm going to do it, I'm going all in.
Hey,
Right.
you're a guy. You're on Grindr. I'm looking for a guy. I don't need your pronouns, guy. Makes me feel like you're not really a guy. Are we doing this or not? God damn. If you're going to be gay, be committed to being gay. What happened to this world?
I agree, man. Like,
Shit.
that's the thing is like, dude, I don't care if you want to go hump a wall. I don't care what you do with your life. But like, why do I have to be that? Why do I have to be?
Yeah, don't make me pay
whatever makes
for it.
people
like
happy.
I don't want to feel like a bad person. Like I'm not a bad. I don't care what you do with your life.
And just,
I'm happy.
and just like that, you heard it here, folks. Battle bars. Homophobic, hates gay people. Buy battle bars. If
I just
you
told
hate
you
gay
battle
people.
bars.
I'm not a bad person.
I just told
You
you
can
that
feel good about buying it.
I just told you I sued
not a bad
this guy.
person.
I just told you I sued this guy at night.
Alex,
Fuck him.
one episode on Slick and Thick. Now his next LinkedIn post is going to be like, Battle Bars is committed to being an LGBT.
Yeah, all the people who heard of Battle Bars, all the people who heard of Battle Bars from us hit me and G up saying we got Battle Bars, we love Battle Bars. Now everyone who buys a Battle Bar can use Alex's soothing voice. He's gonna give you his phone number, send him your confirmation number,
There it is.
and he'll soothe the shits out of you or whatever the fuck you guys do together.
He's about to go drop his pronouns in LinkedIn now.
Hell yeah, brother.
Battle Bars founded by two he/hims.
Now, before we get into
Bars,
how
put it in
terrible
ya.
of a time we had at the airport.
Oh God.
I can't wait to hear this.
So,
I'm so excited.
so you got to pull up something from our boys the Spartans, but
Well, this is going back to what he said
I saw
about the
you guys
Kill
are
Cliff
having
guys.
a Bader bar coming out.
Oh yeah.
So first of all, I'm pissed that we didn't have a Slick and Thick bar first.
What the fuck is that about?
It's coming.
Wait.
We have some big ideas.
Is
all
it,
right?
is it a creamsicle?
Now-
Because I feel like
No,
my man
fuck
can-
no, it's not a creamsicle. No, listen.
It doesn't have to not be a creamsicle.
Gerard, stop.
I just the guy has a point. Who knows better than him about his? I didn't know creamsicle was
Let me
an
tell you.
option.
Now, I got to ask, can you reveal what the Bader bar is?
I can't. I'm not supposed to.
Good. Who the fuck cares about it? I'm telling you what the real fucking bar
ask
that we
Ryan
need
Bader.
is. The real bar that we need.
It's the Bader bar is big, thick, white, and it really is hard to chew. It fucks your face
We'll
up
call
as
it
you
the
chew
BBC bar. The BBC.
All right. I think we need to go the salted caramel route,
Okay.
That's a good one.
or and with that I want there to be like so I was thinking Slick and Thick. I was almost thinking like peanut butter and jelly. Right? Because I want some goo in there. Pause. I want some goo in there. I want some cream. You know what I mean?
What?
I need something liquidy in there. I don't want, you know what I mean?
What are you guys
right
doing,
in my mouth.
man?
Like a little viscous.
Viscous,
marshmallow.
something,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
something a little sweet.
Yeah. It's like someone dropped like Elmer's glue in coconut water.
Nah, but like
in
for
my
real,
mouth.
I think like a salted caramel pretzel, something like that, with like nice little caramel like goo in there. That's a
Nick,
Slick and Thick bar.
Do you know that we get messages all the time about people taking the peanut butter bar and they open up a jar of jelly and they send us videos
Yeah.
of scooping it out, and I'm like, you're kind of defeating the purpose of like the actual healthy option of this when you're just scooping out the jelly.
Yeah.
By the way, there's 3 videos from my man right over here. I'm just throwing it out there. No one believes him.
Wait,
They're all from Gerard. Gerard's like, I like jelly and honey.
Yeah. Battle bars. This is healthy, right?
He was completely naked.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah. If
I got a visual.
So if I just take the peanut butter battle bar and I scoop out an entire thing of marshmallow fluff and Nutella, it's still healthy.
It's all
That's-
protein. That's
it
how
counts.
protein, dude.
See, that's the thing. Like,
Science.
It counts.
like I try and think about what's the best
I like
things
the
out
s'mores
there.
one. The s'mores one is
yeah.
my favorite. Of
Like
the
a
battle
Boston
bars.
cream donut, it's good because of like the cream on the inside. You know
Have
what
you
I
ever
mean?
heard of a Staten Island?
I think that's what we. Yeah, I have.
That's where it's a jelly donut, but it's covered in chocolate.
Yeah. Nah, I'll stick with the
You
Boston cream, man.
know,
Not a
like
fan.
we
Not a
want to
fan.
make. We want
Not
to
a
make,
fan at all.
we
You don't
wanna
like
make-
jelly donuts?
not with the
love jelly.
chocolate. I like jelly donuts, but not with the chocolate.
I like jelly
on top.
donuts, but I don't need the
Yeah.
chocolate either.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like the other shit.
Separate. That's kind of
How do you keep the calories down? What's the secret here? Because look, I'm being dead ass, and people are gonna think this is a fucking infomercial and we're getting paid to simp for you, but this is the truth. We love battle bars and
I know you do. I love it.
the
Appreciate you guys.
but like I've been having protein my entire adult life, you know, whether it was they started out with the metric bars and all this shit. It's never been good. It's always been something you've convinced yourself to do because it's good for you or it's a better option than anything else. But the battle bars are legitimately tasty, right? So like what is kind of the secret, and they're different than any other protein bar in what they're consisting of. So when people have it, it's not going to be like your normal protein bar. What is it that you do that separates you, and where did you kind of get that recipe from?
So we went on a tangent, but the original concept was that when you're overseas and you're eating MREs and Cliff Bars, and like I can't hate on Cliff Bars because they sold for almost $3 billion, but everyone, when I was overseas, everyone hated them. Everyone. You used to go out.
I can't hate on them, but everybody else fucking hated them.
No, I hated on them. I hated them. I couldn't stand it. Like,
No, they had a good business. They did good business-wise.
A ton of respect, but at the same time, and
they
maybe,
also got some shit in it that you don't really want to be putting in your body.
Maybe it's a concept. Maybe it's because like they were given to us for free. So the military bought a ton of them. So we would just like we would leave and they would give us like baskets and we'd just walk out. We'd like grab our stuff and then grab like just pockets of stuff and just fill up our stuff with like Cliff Bars, and we're like, cool, another chocolate chip, and we're like, ugh. Like we just wanted to gag ourselves. But so the idea is that we wanted to make something that was like nostalgic in taste, because who doesn't want something that is nostalgic? Like you want to go back to your childhood because that was easy times, right? So we wanted to make something like, who doesn't like a Rice Krispie treat? Like everyone I know likes a Rice Krispie treat. Everyone. So we're like, all right, well, let's make something similar to a Rice Krispie treat. And we originally started with like high protein, like 25 grams, because we're going to go after like the military guys, the gym guys, right? But then we're like, we got smart about it, and I'm like, I'm big into fitness. I love this stuff, and I own gyms in Chicago, and I'm like, you don't need 25 grams of protein, just don't. Like all these dudes like jamming down like 40 grams of protein per serving. It doesn't like do anything for you. You're gonna shit out the rest of it, right? Like so we dropped it down to 16 grams of protein so we could keep the calorie count down. And then we use real organic cane sugar instead of like the other brands out there that are using, like, say, zero sugar, and like they're all proud about it. But in reality, they're using fake sugars, which destroys the lining of your gut, and it makes it really hard to actually digest food. So instead, we're like, we use real sugar. Yeah, there's 8 grams, always single digits. But if you're active, if you're not just a complete blob of shit every day of your life.
Hey, man.
Yeah, why are you looking at me for?
I didn't say that. I didn't say it at all. But if you're not, like, man, if you take care of yourself and you move for 20 minutes a day, it's okay. And like after a workout, a little bit of sugar spikes your insulin levels. It's okay. And so for us, everyone pressured us big time. Like we had all these people in our ear, investors, all these people telling us like, you need to add more protein. You need to get to zero sugar. And we're like, man, like. You start to listen to that stuff, but then you're like, I just want to do what I want to do, and like this is like I put my entire life into this business, and I want to do what I want to do, and like anytime we launch a flavor, we put it out to our customers in a survey. We ask them what they want to do, and if I agree with it, or my partner Ian agrees with it, or we talk with Dubs or some of these guys, we all talk about our different flavors and how we can do a spinoff on it. We do it, but it's all customer driven, because like that's the number one rule, right? Listen to your customer and everyone becomes happy.
So then what do you think the slick and thick flavor should be?
Oof. I already said like creamsicle, bro, because I don't know why, because your shirt, I think.
Ugh. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm gonna go.
I want salted caramel pretzel.
Hate it. But you know what?
I will have my salted caramel pretzel, and it will become the best. It will climb the ranks of the delicious battle bars and be number 1.
I brought you a gift, actually.
Did you?
You got to move this stuff out of the way, though.
All right, let's do it, dude. What you got for me?
You ready? I just know that you're like you have a problem with peanut butter, so here we go. Hang on.
Listen, I gotta say, that's about to be straight.
Oh! That's a sock.
What's that one? What's that one?
Yeah.
That's that one.
Don't eat that
That's
one.
that.
That's a sock.
Let's go. You got a view on this down here?
There we go. Do you want the sock?
You know what I gotta say? I'm really happy. This is gonna stay right here. This is gonna be a nice piece of the set.
Shit.
Fungo. It's all right. That glove almost caught you, though, bro.
He thought the set was a sleeping Iraqi.
Back down.
Don't worry about it. Leave the shit. I came around on peanut butter, and it wasn't because I like to eat them on planes where someone could possibly go into diaphyllactic shock.
Anaphylactic.
That was fantastic.
It's not. No, I came around on them. They were damn near. I would say they were second to last for me, but yeah,
Do
absolutely.
I need to put these back in the bag?
No.
right,
They were second to last. I said they climbed the ranks, and also, you know what? Peanut butter's got 18 grams of protein. It's got 2 extra grams in there.
Look at this motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Doing this
butter's
pre-production.
And
and
I
shit.
do two of them. I often do 2 of them at a time because I work out like a fucking beast. So that means I'm getting fucking 36 right there.
36.
You know what I'm saying?
36. So the what is the
a whole meal.
what is the actual sales order? Because I know that what my favorite order goes s'mores. Then I like the lemon, which I feel like a lot of people don't. And then I like the birthday cake, which is really good. Then I go strawberry. Then I go chocolate. Then I go peanut butter.
S'mores and lemon are the top dogs.
Oh, they're so good.
Lemon is low key delicious.
It's so good. It's
so
like a
good.
key lime pie, man.
Yeah. It's like the they them of the bars. It's freaking amazing.
It could be. It's a little bit of everything.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
so s'mores and lemon are so we're doing this big test with 7-Eleven on the East Coast, right? And like everything on the East Coast, if this goes well over the next, I don't know, probably like 20 days, then we go national. We go into 14,000 stores.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So, but s'mores and lemon are the ones that we're testing out there.
And people can use code SNT to get how much off Battle Bars at your site?
20% now, baby.
Hey, you hear that, motherfuckers?
You heard that?
You've been asking
we
for
just
it.
saved you 67 cents, motherfuckers. Enjoy that shit.
But yeah,
Buy 10 of them.
Chocolate was my favorite, and then strawberry was up there. S'mores is now in the game, and I never really liked s'mores much.
That birthday cake is good.
Yeah, birthday. Yeah, most people love the birthday
Birthday
cake.
cake
That's
is
a lot
good,
of people's favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He had a red velvet that was seasonal.
Yeah,
It
we
was
did. Red velvet's
freaking
pretty bomb.
good. It was
You know,
good.
have you guys thought about getting into the basic bitch market with a pumpkin spice?
Fun fact there to you. Last year we did a pumpkin spice called the Basic Bitch.
Is that right?
We did.
You know, pumpkin spice is just a fucking nutmeg rebrand. It's fucking garbage. We've had pumpkin spice. Our whole lives.
like
we just called it nutmeg. Just nobody wants nutmeg in their mouth.
We didn't really even want to do it because like it's so basic, but everyone like went nuts over it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone begged for it, dude. Like,
Really?
We sold out in like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Really? And then you just decided not to do it again because you hate money, or
Seasonal, bro. Seasonal.
Oh, okay.
Seasonal, man.
Gotcha.
You gotta keep people coming back for more.
apple
want it.
cinnamon for slick and thick?
What do you guys want for Slick and Thick? We will make.
honestly, I think someone show me why it shouldn't be chocolate salted caramel pretzel. Salted caramel pretzel.
Put real chunks of pretzel in it?
How can you
So
make
maybe
salted
some pretzel,
caramel
but like
pretzel
I want a
healthy?
gooey in there. What do you mean? They make all these delicious fuckers healthy. I leave that to the scientists at Battle Bars.
Science.
Battle Bars Industries.
Do you have a chocolate chip cookie one?
So we looked at the cookie dough, but you know what the crazy part is that like so we use
I
real.
can fuck with cookie dough a little bit.
Yeah, but so you know what's hard is that we use real stuff, right? So it's very hard to transport it across the U.S.
Of course.
It's very hard because like especially in the summertime. So it's like after about let's call it 3 months, it loses like the freshness. And
I hate that this is really a thing. This is something Mick's been talking about since literally episode 1 of Slick and Thick. And we just came back. We just did a week in Medellin, Empire MMA, a fantastic event. Mick with Alejandra Azulara from Bellator. This whole event, it was fantastic.
Can you
Begin
say
to
that
end.
again, please?
It was the Empire MMA is fantastic. Come down to Medellin, be a part of it. But it might be a sponsorship opportunity for you involved. You know some people. So the thing is everybody always says the cliche is I go to Europe and I eat pasta and I eat bread and I actually lose weight when I'm out there. My man, I ate steak for breakfast, lunch, dinner, hamburgers. We were eating 6-7 times a day. I'm 5 pounds lighter than I left in a week. And it's actually fucking true. And the food tastes different. We had a barbecue with Kevin.
I'm trying to think. I had meat like fucking cow every one of my meals.
Yeah.
And delicious. I felt great the whole time. How do you feel about that over there, Christian? He's a vegetarian,
Yeah.
guys.
Some of the best food we had was from Kevin. What's Kevin's last
Damn
name?
it.
Kevin
Gracie,
Cuervo.
Columbia.
Vegan battle bar, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kevin
right.
Cuervo, awesome dude. The professor at Gracie, Columbia, had us up to his place for a barbecue, and it was unreal. And the food was about as good as I've ever had. I'm like, bro, what are you seasoning this with? He's like, just salt. Just salt. Okay, well, why is this so good? Well, the cow lived over there. The cow lived there.
probably had a name.
Yeah.
Family.
I hate that this is real because this is something you've been hearing about, like corporate food, anti-Monsanto, but there's something to it, man. The fact that the food is local, the fact that the food is real, the fact that nothing tasted processed, the actual food tasted different. It was like explosive flavors, man. And you're like, what are you doing differently? And they're like, nothing. Our stuff is like processed, diluted. It really is. And unless you kind of get out of this American ecosystem, you have no idea how real that is. You know, and so something like what you're saying, the fact that you're not putting preservatives, the fact that you're not going hyper corporate, I applaud you for it. But as you scale, what does that mean? Does that mean like you're only going to be regional? How does that work?
No, so you have to make more production facilities, right? And like that's where like your supply chain, that's where it gets complex, right? And that's where this business is so hard. Not many people can have success doing it. It's because you have to raise a ton of money. It costs a lot of money to get to scale. But when you do, and you prove that you have a product that can sell and that people want and that will get on a shelf and get off a shelf and that people will order online and wait online for orders when we're sold out, like you can build new production facilities, shorten your ship time, right? And, shorten your production. Like you can't live off of making a production every single month. You got to do a production, 3-4 times a year, and you do it strategically to your top customers across the country, where it's like, all right, I know that a bar truly lasts like really good. Like I can put in my packaging that a bar is good for 518 days. That's legally, I can say that. But overall, like between us boys here and whoever's listening to this podcast, right? It's like, 3-4 months. That's probably the sweet spot. And that's ideally, but like if you order a bar, look, it's not going to be good. Like you're going to eat it within 3-4 months, right? But that's not what we're selling to, like in the big term. Because if you scale a product and we want to sell millions of these things, then like someone buys it on the 3rd month, they're buying 100,000 units, right? They're going to buy 100,000 units and it's going on a shelf, and maybe like it takes a month to get on a shelf, and you got to wait, right? So like there's a lot of like complex like parts to it. So.
Well, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And I wish people would really understand that, is like if it takes your food, if a food can stay on the shelf for 5 years, imagine how hard it is for your body to break that down. Dude. Right? Like
this shit was on the shelf for months until Alex knocked it all down.
He's like, we don't even like those flavors anymore.
Exactly.
Shit.
No, so we like everything that we make, we want it. We go through stupid amounts of like over and over of iterations of product. Like every time that our food scientists make something, we send it back. I can't even tell you how many times, and they get annoyed with us. But like we're perfectionists, and we my business partner Ian is like a yin to the yang, right? He's like, I'm crazy and I'll do a million things. I want to try all this and I want to do all this crazy stuff, and he's very just. Okay, Alex, I think you're insane, but go ahead and I'll listen. I'll hear you out, right? And Dubs, I feel like is kind of like me, but with a hint of, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna listen to you rant for a little while, but
doing it the right way is just harder. It takes longer. It's more expensive, and so that's why people don't do that. It's a tougher racket, but when you can get it right and get it scaled, then it's going to go, because you can always guarantee that it's going to be a quality product. It's always going to taste good. It's always going to be within date. So,
are you willing to tell the people which bars, which companies they should avoid? Like what they should, like who's doing it wrong if you guys are doing it right?
I won't call it like certain companies, but I will say if you see zero sugar on a bar, that's all bullshit. Or if you see
it's a lie, or it's like that means it's pumped with chemicals.
Yeah, it's just pumped with artificial sweeteners. Or unless you look at the back and you see, I think monk fruit is a solid like sweetener. There's like a lot of stuff coming out about stevia.
This kid jacks off about jackfruit.
Loves him some jackfruit.
He's a vegetarian.
Yes.
It's like the pulled pork for vegetarians.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
No, somebody tried one of these vegans tried serving me.
I gave him some jackfruit one day. It came in his pants. It's the weirdest thing I ever saw.
Somebody tried giving me this really expensive mushroom once and called it a vegan steak. I said, this is a mushroom. This is not a vegan steak. Was it like
a fun mushroom, though?
No, it was not a fun mushroom, and it was a tasty mushroom, but to call it steak was pretty aggressive.
Were you actually in Medellin, or did you just eat that mushroom steak and just?
No, I was
float it?
100% Medellin. No, I promise you, I was in Medellin. I got the bumps and sores to prove it. So
Antibiotics are over the counter down there too.
that's what I hear.
That is true.
That's what I hear. But you know,
Allegedly.
I believe in the secret, so I just put up a picture of myself before I had AIDS, and then I'd think really hard and like wish like that I don't, and then I don't. So worked for Magic Johnson.
Yeah, he was bug chasing, got AIDS on purpose just to lose some fucking weight. But look at the size. This man just knows how to hold on to mass.
Couldn't do it. I'm the first guy to go HIV double positive, which is a negative.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. You're so positive. You're negative.
Yeah,
Correct.
Positive,
your body just knew how to handle it.
Yeah. No, they're like, nah, that's fine.
Circled back around on that.
Yeah.
It always comes back to it.
Yeah. Battle bars. HIV positive. So.
Hey, let's talk about how much we hate fucking airports. How about that?
Well, I want to.
Do you guys hate airports?
I want to get before we get to airports, if you don't mind, Mick. I want to learn a little bit more about what you did in the military and you know, kind of how the
They
transition.
bombed airports.
Yeah, they will transition to that. And
In
so
Medellin.
what'd you do in the military, and then what was the transition like to civilian life after you got out?
Yeah, you know, that's why we kind of do what we do now is because of that. Is the transition part is so tough, man. People talk about transitioning nowadays. It's a word that you think is different.
Yeah,
right.
turning your dick inside out.
Yeah, whereas now it's like whereas before, or even guys and girls now are getting out of the military. That transition is a real thing, man. Like, you know, your paycheck, no matter what you're doing in the military, you could be in the toughest gunfight known to man, or you could be sitting on a ship doing nothing, or a cook, or what anything but it's still essential to serving people, right? And doing your part for your country. But that said, the 1st and the 15th, your paycheck is there. It's there. But, you know, you get out of the military, they send you this thing called TAPS class. And TAPS class is like a transitional, I think it's still the same nowadays. I don't know for sure. But they send you this thing called TAPS class, and they basically parade all these guys and girls in front of you who are government like contractors, and they're like, hey, you can go make $60,000 a year. You could cap out at $80,000 a year after 25 years, and you could retire and like have a pension. And you're like, what if I don't want to carry a gun anymore, man?
Yeah.
Like, what if I don't want to do it anymore? And like, I wasn't a Navy SEAL. I wasn't like anything hardcore like that. But, you know, like, what if I didn't want to do it anymore? Like, what about all these other guys who have been through some serious, serious shit in their lives? And you've come to find out that the people who have the trauma are like, it's not about PTSD. It's not about like the guys and girls who are overseas who saw something and like it reminds them of this and they have that. No, and I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But the problem is like the amount of the brotherhood that people lose is that you know, I can speak to that. I still to this day speak to my boys. Like, we talk all the time. We have a text chain that's always going. We still meet up all the time.
That camaraderie and that bond you build has got to be like so strong. And
It's
then
crazy.
to then lose that and go back into this world where you don't have that, it's got to be like such a loss.
Well, when you think about you when you're fighting, right? Like, I think that you have a corner when you go through a camp, right? I think that
You got brothers in arms. It's
it's
you know what I
real,
mean?
man.
It's brothers, blood of the covenant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're going into combat. Like, even like the guys and girls that don't go into combat, man. Like, you're all together and you're experiencing things that no one else knows how to talk about.
Yeah.
And then you get out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, go be a cop, go be a firefighter, go be some type of contractor, and you should be okay, right?" And it's like, wait a minute, but no. You know?
Yeah. Well, even if you get that much guidance, it seems like we've had Devin Moultrie on. Devin was 6 years in the Navy, was a guard at Guantanamo, and then after he got out, he tried to commit suicide. Thankfully, it didn't go through, and now he's a jiu-jitsu black belt.
Thankfully, he stinks at suicide.
Yeah.
But is really good at jiu-jitsu.
It turns out he's really good at choking other people. Yeah. Sick.
You know who he needs? Epstein.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, because he definitely killed himself. We've also had Christian Gray, bronze medal winner, and he struggled with his transition before kind of finding his lane, and now, you know, he helps run the the firearms program down at Miami. What's the name of that school? Fuck, I forget.
I forget right now.
Yeah, great. It's one of the only 2 places in America where you can shoot automatic weapons indoors. And then obviously Dan Holloway is a big friend of the program from the Drinking Bros. And everybody knows about the 22. Which is, apparently 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
I think it's kind of disgraceful the way that we don't take care of our soldiers. Like that's our like people like to say fighters were like super brave. They're braver.
Yeah,
They're
sure.
braver. They're doing something more extreme. You know what I mean? They should. You guys should come out. Should be given a whole bunch of money. Should be like treated like the heroes that you guys are. You know what I mean?
And I think that
not
they
just kind of defend for yourself.
I think that they I don't want to say there is an opportunity because there is, right? Like they give you the GI Bill, like the state of Illinois, the state of Texas, I think Maryland, they do like you can go to any state school for free for 4 years, but also like you gotta, they just assume that you're mentally ready to do that, and that's the thing is that like I was mentally ready to do that. I had a great support system, my family, my friends, like I had great people around me, but like I'm wearing this today. Like I've been wearing this for a while. It's David Metcalf, and if you guys look him up, the David Metcalf Foundation. This guy it's an incredible story. This guy was I think 18-year Navy SEAL. At our gyms in Chicago, 104010, we do hero missions, and he was one of them. But David was like this 18-year Navy SEAL, got out, got like I think it was like his PA, his physician's assistant degree, or I'm not sure the details, but he did that. But he ended up committing suicide, and there's a lot deeper of a story behind it. But like the idea is that he did it, and in his like letter back to his wife and family was like, I want you guys to know that something is wrong with me, and doctors say that they can't figure it out. Doctors say that there's nothing wrong with me, but something is wrong with me. I'm not stupid. I'm really smart, actually. And they did a test on his brain, and he had like 24 concussions and major CTE that they found after telling him for years that he didn't have anything. And these are people like, who lead elite teams into battle, and they do tremendous things that I can't even imagine, right? That I'm just a peasant here, man. Like,
but when they're done with you, they're done with you, bro.
They're done with you. They're done with you. And I think it's changing now. There's like Vet Solutions is out there doing incredible things for the military, but like, I think that it's starting to change.
Well, it has to change because, and this is just my opinion, and I'm sure people are going to get upset with it, but fuck it, they get upset anyway. The military is not getting our best and our brightest anymore because too many of these stories have come out for too long. And one of my biggest regrets for years was as soon as I got released from minor league baseball, I should have went right into the military. I love my country. I want to serve. But in retrospect, I'm happy I didn't because I have such a distaste for what our government has turned out to be and become. And I don't want to be an agent of chaos on behalf of Halliburton, Raytheon, and fucking Pfizer. And I think that the smarter you are, the harder it is to come to terms with what exactly it is you were used for and allowed yourself to be used for in addition to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing if I will fucking die to defend my family. I don't want to fucking go somewhere 7,000 miles from fucking home and suppress a people who make $35 a fucking year on behalf of some Fortune 500 corporation's assets. That's inconceivable to the human soul in my eyes.
But I also say that the military guys and girls, like for me, I didn't give a fuck what we were doing over there. I didn't care. Like I knew like the high level story. You don't have time to think about that stuff, and if you dive too deep into that, then you just go down a rabbit hole, and like then things just are a mess, But at the end of the day, you have to trust your leadership, and you have to trust that you're doing
I don't
the right
trust
thing.
this leadership.
No, but you have to trust your leadership direct. So like if I'm not saying like I mean when I was in, it was like it was George Bush, right? Like so like it's not that you don't trust them; it's that you don't think about it like that. You think that, I'm here to do this. This is my job, and these are my boys, and nothing's going to happen to them.
Is that like a plausible well, what the fuck word am I looking for?
Deniability.
Yeah, plausible deniability.
No, I think that like at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter. Like when you're in, you're in. There's no like, you can't go complain. There was a guy who once told me when we were on this oil platform in Iraq, and this guy walked up to me, and I was cleaning up all this stuff, right? We were like 6 months in. It was like 140 degrees. I was soaking wet. I was fucking miserable. I hadn't slept in I don't even know how long. I haven't showered in Lord knows how long. And this dude walks up to me, and he was my boss. He was my boss at the time. I'm not gonna say his name. And he points at me, and if my buddies watch this, they're gonna laugh their asses off. But he goes, I was cleaning up these like bowls, like it was like paper bowls that we were eating like Iraqi food in. And I cleaned up these bowls, and he goes, yep. And he was giving a tour to like these like higher up military who just decided to come on board and check us out, like what we were doing there, which was miserable. And he goes, yeah, those are the bowls. And I like looked over at him. I didn't know what to say. Like he was trying to tell people that, yep, those are the bowls that we eat out of. And I was like, oh my God, we're so fucked. And like, and I remember like the last thing he said to me, he told a buddy of mine, he said, don't use logic. We're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, I know I'm just like some 22-year-old kid that's like, doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Use your brain, just listen to me. Just focus
don't
here.
use
Whatever
logic.
I say, that's what you do.
Listen, just don't use logic. And you're like,
That could be the fucking.
I gotta get out of here, bro.
That could literally be the entire motto for the United States government post
Administration.
2001.
Yeah.
For the last 23
Don't
years.
use your brain,
The United
we'll
States,
tell you what's good.
Yeah. The United States government. Don't use logic.
That's it.
They're not
Just put
looking-
your mask on, shoot it up, however many times.
it.
The next booster will 100% work. We fucking promise. Don't use logic. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Did you serve as well, GW?
I did not. No.
Yeah. So how did you two get hooked up here after you were talking about there were sports science guys?
Well, no, so Dubs was with Killcliff. He was like the OG at Killcliff.
cool.
He was like one of the first dudes. I think.
Is that right?
If not the first, right?
Yeah, Todd founded the company. I was the first guy in, so it was just myself and
I
Todd
met
at the very beginning.
I met the Killcliff guys at a trade show, and like we just became buddies. And like I ended up coming down to Atlanta. I was down there I don't remember what I was down there for, but I ended up going to their office, and Dubs and I just clicked and became buddies, and like we just understood each other on the business side of things and creative side of things, and you know.
He's got a gym, so he's been ordering the Killcliff for like a long time, and he hates CrossFit, but.
Stop saying I hate CrossFit. It's not true. I don't hate it. I just
But he
think
basically does CrossFit. He just doesn't call it CrossFit. you know?
CrossFit. Don't use logic.
you can't say I listen. I never said I hated CrossFit. I said that I think CrossFit, the basis of it is fucking phenomenal. It's incredible. But CrossFit turned into this thing where like the big corporate business, back to what we're talking about, right? Big corporate CrossFit didn't give a fuck about small gym owner CrossFit.
Yeah, it was like the LA vegans of weightlifting.
Yeah, so like all of a sudden, like you got like CrossFit gym owner who's like, I love this, man. I love what Greg Glassman has created, which everyone does. I think it's fantastic. He wants to create a community that eats healthy and works out and takes care of themselves and supports each other. It's great. But they all made millions of fucking dollars, and all these little CrossFit gyms have no idea how to run a business whatsoever. So then I don't know what the numbers are. 3, 4 to 5 CrossFit gyms fail within like fucking 3 years.
Very expensive.
So it's like, so
they kind of reached their like critical mass. It went up over about 8,000 in the U.S. and then came back down to where
does
it should
Killcliff
be.
get its name from? I'm always interested in that. Who is Cliff, and what did he do to deserve this?
Killcliff has everybody asks that question, and everybody kind of, because Todd was a Navy SEAL. It was founded by a Navy SEAL. It's sort of part of the marketing, and everyone wants Killcliff to be some Navy SEAL reference, but it's really not. Cliff was Todd's roommate, I think. Right when I had met Todd, there was this tall, gangly, like Georgia Tech grad, math genius, completely socially awkward guy named Cliff. And Todd terrorized him like a Navy SEAL, like a fucking Navy SEAL, like in his face, hammered.
So this multi-million-dollar corporation got its foundation in bullying.
Hazing.
Bullying.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
bring back bullying.
we would
Absolutely.
go on these guy trips, and Cliff was on them. Actually, Argentina was one in South America, and Cliff was the type of guy we'd be all sitting at a South American blackjack table, and you tell everyone how to play their hand at the table. Like, you're gonna get us killed, dude. You're literally gonna get us killed. Plus, I'm on a roll. Shut up. You know, just shut up.
The Chinaman is not the issue, Cliff.
Right. So Todd made a shirt that just said "Kill Cliff" on it, and he made like 50 of them. And we passed them out. All the guys had them. And so when we went on the next trip and Cliff showed up, we all had "Kill Cliff" like T-shirts on. And he literally, you could see the single tear coming down where he was
like,
just
all my friends want me dead.
He didn't take it the way like, oh my God, I'm kind of like part of the group. They love me, but he took it the other way.
I'm imagining.
No, that's the thing with guys. Like your best friend is the one that's gonna like bust your balls the most.
I'm imagining
like,
Cliff.
when you grow up, like that's
for
what
sure.
it is.
It wasn't like that. Todd kicked him out shortly after.
Oh, really?
I'm envisioning Cliff
So that
as
you guys did kill Cliff.
they killed off. They killed off Cliff.
dead.
in season
He's
2.
dead.
We never paid him anything for the name, but Todd actually, part of that argument, he's like, I'm going to kick you out. And he's like, and I'm naming the fucking drink Kill Cliff.
Wow.
And there it was. The thing was, is we would wear those T-shirts wherever, just, you know, out and about. Just it's just like part of the rotation. And people would ask, like, what's Kill Cliff? They were just genuinely, it alliterated. People are genuinely curious.
This poor
about,
guy is sitting there at a
it is.
bar, you know, trying to hit on a chick, and he keeps seeing Vincente Luque from Kill Cliff FC on the big thing. He's like, that's named after me. Shut up.
I could show you the guy.
No, my friends really wanted me dead.
Yeah. I'm imagining Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover.
No,
is
he's
that
tall
Cliff?
and gangly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, personality-wise.
Yeah, very, very tall.
I like the. I feel like that's gonna ruin the mystery behind Kill Cliff.
No, this is great. This is hilarious. It's an inside joke.
Yeah, for sure.
me see it,
For
let me
sure.
see it.
Even his son looks like he wants him dead.
That's
Let me
Cliff.
see.
Yeah, there he is.
That's hilarious.
the,
That's
uh,
really funny.
I won't say his last name.
Yeah.
Very, very smart guy. Graduated from Georgia Tech. Does super well.
It's
Got
How'd
a family
you
now.
guys rope in Rogan, man?
That was a process. So Rogan always liked the drink. I was sending it to him for a long time, like 5 years, and he just really liked that original blood orange flavor. The tasty was what we called it. And so I was just sending it to him, and he was just like, keep it coming. And he would just give us organic love here and there, you know, like give me one of those Kill Cliffs on the podcast, but nothing really in particular. But when we created the CBD drink, the Orange Kush, which was basically just our orange flavor.
That's my favorite.
so good.
So good.
That's my favorite.
I call it the duct tape of drinks because it fixes everything and it goes with everything.
We always at Kill Cliff Fight Club, we take it after sparring all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
When
Get that CBD right back in your brain.
If you had that,
That's
if
it.
you had the
You know?
goat,
It's
though,
low caffeine
what?
too,
goat?
so you can
Oh,
drink
the
whenever. It's only 25
the
yeah,
grape
it's
one?
25 milligrams.
Yeah, that's my second favorite.
It's full of anti-inflammatories, but we can't advertise that. But that was the whole idea behind the drink was, once again, he thought of it in SEAL training. He's like, we're getting Gatorade and pizza and just complete shit nutrition, and we're supposed to be like the elite fighting force and super fit. And he's like, there's got to be something better than this. And he kind of wanted to create liquid ibuprofen and an all-natural kind of thing, like an anti-inflammatory post-training kind of drink. And that's where it started.
Why can't you advertise that?
Because the FDA would be up your ass, because all of the drug companies that
and
create
Facebook.
real anti-inflammatories that pay, you know, all this money, they would come and basically shut you down.
So
making that
essentially,
claim.
it's like Big Pharma would send the government out after you.
Like Advil would be like, fuck you guys.
Really?
Yes.
Even if you could prove it's anti-inflammatory.
Well, the thing is we can prove all of our ingredients are anti-inflammatory, but our formula would take so long and be so expensive that it's just like you can't put it through the same ringer that like a drug company. But all of the ingredients are proven to be anti-inflammatory.
So essentially, the system is set up to be cost prohibitive.
Oh, yeah.
To defend yourself from the allegations of the establishment.
Of course, yeah. It's not set up to win for the little guy, for sure.
So the problem with that, it's like it's Meta, it's Facebook, Instagram, and everything. So Battle Bars, I don't know if you know this or not, but Battle Bars, we used to have a CBD side.
I didn't know that.
We called it Chill Dudes, and there was like Chill Dudes CBD, but like we were kind of stupid when we first started it, because I used to invest into cannabis companies and CBD companies, and so this company that I invested into made like private label CBD, and they were like the best on the planet, the cleanest on the planet. And so I was like, all right, cool, let's white label some great stuff. So we started selling CBD, but all of a sudden I get this message from Shopify and all these other all the brands will laugh at all this, but it's like I didn't know. I was just trying to sell product, make money that our customers wanted, and we got all these like messages PayPal kicked us off, I will never touch a PayPal account for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Those motherfuckers are dirty and slimy and treated us like complete shit. We're like, hey, listen, man, we're a veteran-owned company. We didn't know. Like, our customers are asking us to buy. They're like, they literally told us we don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well,
And all we did was we sold CBD.
we have another show with Candace Horback, formerly known as Eva Lovia, and PayPal essentially allowed her to accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars on her account, and then we're like, oh yeah, by the way, we can't give you the money because you're part of a vice industry and all this other. And they said it was CBD, it was weed, it was pornography, and there was one other thing. It was something Obama put in, and the Wells Fargo is, I believe, guilty of it as well, where they can essentially say, oh yeah, legally we can't give you your money. But they'll let people pay into the account.
They froze our funds.
But they won't.
Oh, yeah.
They won't give you the money.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, that's not your money.
Yeah, banking is tricky too.
It's
like
dirty, bro.
Payment processing, banking, we're like all of that. It's a little bit better now. Like the Killcliff has a CBD drinks. It's been out for years now.
Sure.
At the beginning though, we got dropped by our bank. We got dropped by our payment processor. We had to have a separate website because that means that like all of our other products would be more expensive because of the additional money for payment processing and the additional bank fees. So we just separated it.
And you think it's large companies like Bayer and Advil that are attacking you when you?
No, it's not that. It's just
Well,
in general.
maybe
it's
not
set up.
maybe not directly, Dubs, but I think
No, but they're the ones that lobby, and
yeah.
they've got
They're holding it up
the
to make the process take
politicians in
forever.
their
Really?
pocket, and so the laws are always going to be.
Well, dude,
such
so
that-
like the company that I invested in, it's a company called Mile High Labs in Colorado, and they got pumped full of cash, dude. And they went out and they went in front of Congress, they went in front of Mitch McConnell. But then while they were going in front of him,
That's Mick's favorite guy.
yeah, well,
Mitch McConnell.
Cocaine Mitch.
It's the funny
Cocaine Mitch.
Side note,
Cocaine Mitch.
that's his name.
No way, for real?
Look, Google Cocaine Mitch. Homie rebooted on live TV a couple times.
A couple times now.
that was
Like
those
completely-
memes of
Yeah,
Mitch McConnell.
I imagine as he's zoning out, it's like goodbye horses.
And he's literally just like,
He was thinking of a Playboy Mansion
Yeah,
in the
dude.
80s.
That was a good impression right there. Yeah.
He was somewhere else.
Yeah, man, that was a glitch in the Matrix, boy.
it was great though.
He rebooted right there.
Anyway, but then we had they put all this stuff in his desk because he's the decision maker.
Yeah.
But also,
Some cocaine
you
Mitch.
put all this stuff on his
Process.
desk, and when did they put it on his desk? 2020. What happened in 2020?
Yep. Yep.
The vid.
Yeah.
The old vid
The
happened.
old the grande recette.
Everything went away.
Bongo.
And you know what? So I'll give it. And my partner Ian at Battle Bars, he's okay with me saying this, but like, Ian's like one of those. He's one of the guys that I talk about that has been fucked up from this shit. That dude was in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. He's done 3 serious combat tours, and he does not sleep. When I tell you this motherfucker sleeps maybe an hour or 2 every single night of his life.
Wow.
And this dude has been through some shit,
fuck.
man. And no, I'm not kidding, man. And like sleep, I don't know if you guys have had like ever been like had sleep detriment, but like it's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
And like when you go through some
Your
shit,
body's like vibrating. You feel like a zombie.
Yeah,
That
and
makes
so-
it crazy.
So this dude, when he got out of the military, we I don't know if he's gonna yell at me for this, but we got him high for the first time because I was like, yo, man, you need to sleep. This motherfucker slept like a baby, and he was the happiest person I've ever seen him, happiest I've ever seen in my life. And you know, CBD, cannabis, all these guys that have like, there's good and there's bad for it. There's people who just want to use it just to go get fucked up, whatever. But there's people who genuinely need it. And the military, we talk about that. They genuinely need it, and they won't fucking give it to them. I mean, cops and firefighters right now they can't even take
Not
CBD.
allowed.
Yeah.
They can't even take
Not allowed.
CBD. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know a lot of cops and firefighters who are like, when I retire, yeah, I will, but I can't now.
It's crazy. It's CBD.
It's just good for your brain.
Dude, I would have teammates, and we would all do coke because it was out of our systems in 3 days. But weed is in your system for 30 days, and then these guys would be gobbling Percocet to be able to pitch, or they'd be getting a Toradol shot to play through a torn fucking hamstring.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, some crazy dude from the Dominican is going to take his job, and then he's going to be a gym teacher in 6 months.
Yeah.
So you play through whatever. So you can take a shot of Toradol, as long as the doctor gives it to you. You can gobble 500 milligrams of Percocet a day, as long as as long as you offset it with an Adderall to make sure you're still wired up enough to compete. But if you smoke weed, and I don't like weed, I'm not a weed guy. But even then, I was like, this is wild. So if they smoke a plant, they're going to get suspended for 6 months and they're going to get cut. But as long as they shoot themselves full of these chemicals, it's all gravy, baby.
Joe,
where'd you buy it though? That's what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all the money. Follow the money. There's a guy.
Well, to that point, I also tell people always get a second opinion from a team doctor when it comes to surgery, because the team doctor wants to cut you open. He wants to cut you open. They want that money. So they are always looking to go surgery first. They're always looking to, well, and also part of it is like their medical malpractice is so high. So if like you come out and you have like a small tear in your ulnar nerve or something like that, and he's like, I think you just need six weeks off and you'll be good. And you come out and then tear it again after that, they can sue him for a misdiagnosis. So he's like, look, let's just get the surgery, get it done, and you'll get back. And 18 months later, what you had to do to kind of play catch up, again, there's no money in not doing the surgery. There's no money in not pumping people full of pills. There's no money in not injecting people.
100%.
So, that's kind of the unfortunate truth of the situation. Your favorite pro athlete is doing some sort of drugs. Otherwise, he won't be able to perform. But he's not smoking weed unless he's in the NBA.
Every pro athlete you talk to will say like that. But so this guy, Daniel, his name's Daniel Prigg. He was an Army Ranger. This dude, a friend of mine, lived in Wisconsin. He got blown up twice. When I met him, he came down to our gym and we gave him a free membership. We were like, him and I were boys. This dude, blown up twice. I asked him point blank, what kind of pain are you in? Like a scale of 1 to 10. He's like, I'm on about an 8 to 10 every single day of my life.
Wow.
And so this is a quick. I'll end the story kind of quick because I can talk all day about this dude, man. Like incredible guy. So COVID, we had to shut down our gym. We had to go to we shut down the gym for when it first happened for a month. We get down to Florida, and I get a message from his girlfriend that he dies. And you know how this dude died? So he was at home. He had 96 surgeries. 96 different surgeries. 96.
Holy shit.
I think actually more than that, to be honest with you, but 96 surgeries, and he had shrapnel stuck in his body, right? Always in pain. And this guy and I were boys, man, and he tells me all this stuff, very confident about this, right? But never complained to anyone. Was the most positive dude ever. You can still look up his gram right now and you'll see it, right? This dude was in pain, in so much pain during COVID that he goes to the hospital. What does the hospital say? You're a COVID risk. We can't have you here. So they give him fucking pain pills and sleeping pills. He takes the pain pills, takes the sleeping pills, and fucking dies. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it's fucking nuts. But that's the world we live in, man. This guy was a fucking Army Ranger, did some of the, got blown up not once, but twice. And comes home. And that's what he fucking gets.
That makes the way we left Afghanistan even more fucking ridiculous. Fuck. That makes the surrender of Afghanistan, and now the fact that those weapons are being used in the Gaza conflict. It's these are crimes against humanity, man. These are the. God.
It's not even political. That's the thing. This isn't people are like, oh, well, you just hate Democrats. You want to yell at Biden. It's like, no, man. Did you ever watch the video of Joe Biden being like, it's going to take years to get out of Afghanistan.
Yeah, that was before.
It'll take years. And, if you leave the stuff there, which you can't, if you leave it there, then they're going to use millions of dollars, all this stuff. And you're like, you just fucking did all that, bro. Yeah. And I talk to people like this and you're like, yo, I'm not being political. I'm just,
yeah.
It's just common sense. It's not political. If anyone on right, left, doesn't matter, did something stupid, you're going to be like, that was stupid. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it just so happens that all the shit that is happening right now happens to be with the people who run our country, which are left. And you just call it out for what it is.
Well, it's also too the left is aggressively condescending anytime you disagree with them theoretically on anything. It's hey, look, I think it's probably a bad thing that we left Afghanistan the way it did. Oh, what are you, a military historian? No, I just think that if Afghanis are willing to hang on to the fucking landing gear of a plane taking off because they think that's safer than staying in their fucking home, then probably we didn't do this the right way.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to West Point. You're right. Nah,
But that's anyone, dude. But anyone will say that, like over time, and I can't like think about like 5-10 years from now, what how people are going to talk about that. That'll be one of the greatest mistakes, and
If we're still allowed to.
if I would hope so.
Yeah, they bury it. They just don't talk about it. That's what it is. And it just sort of, there's so many things go through the news cycle after that it just kind of gets buried. And I mean, who's talking about the Afghanistan withdrawal now? Nobody.
yeah.
It's
We're talking
so
about we're
far
talking
down the
about
line.
40 babies getting their hands
No doubt
chopped
about it.
off.
Right.
That's it.
Maui fires.
Yeah.
All the fucking weird things that happen in Maui.
Here's $700. Right?
$700.
That's gone.
Gone.
Don't talk about that.
Didn't
either.
even happen.
Like what's happening in Maui right now? I don't
Hunter
know.
Biden gets his gun charges dropped on a Friday night at 11 p.m. Gone. Out of the news. Gone.
Yeah.
The Trump indictments falling apart. That was the biggest story in the world. Have you heard anything about those indictments?
No.
Gone.
Next. Cocaine at the White House.
Yeah. Did
The cocaine at the White House is the greatest.
Did-
Come
So
on, man.
funny.
Like,
yeah.
And then
One
So
day
on
after
the
Hun-
nose,
one
right?
So more like up the nose, but yeah.
Hello.
But did they show?
One day after Hunter shows up, cocaine mysteriously found in the White House. Is it mysteriously?
Yeah.
Let's get Scooby Doo and the gang to try to figure this one out.
Didn't they show
guys.
Biden or Hunter Biden when he was up next to like Joe?
Oh,
Biden?
did you see
yeah,
that?
He was like,
tweaking out. It's like everybody's seen that.
Yeah, dude, that was wild, man.
You're like,
I know what
all
that
right,
is.
I'm not saying I know everything about everything, but
Yeah.
like that looks like a dude who's coked out to me. Just saying.
yeah, man.
At the White House.
On Easter with your family,
That's gangster as hell,
bro.
I'm not hating on him. I'm impressed.
Like, you got to get through Easter Sunday with the family. You got to do a couple toots to go play with the Easter bunny. Come on, kid.
To be fair, try to have a conversation with Joe Biden. You might need it.
That's very true.
You might need.
Also, like, are
Hey,
you
maybe
trying to
Joe-
win that Easter egg hunt, or are
true.
you just trying to participate?
Maybe Joe partakes himself. You know, he gets his little fucking shuffle pep going a little bit. You know, he poops himself.
he's got to get through his speeches.
He's
somehow,
got to
right?
get through them somehow, dude. Yeah, it's
Do you remember like?
it's such
I remember,
expensive
during
incompetence,
do you
really.
remember
You know?
what was the during the State of the Union speech? You're like, all right, you know, like you ever been like to Vegas or whatever, and then you go like you have a rough night with the boys or something, and then you go get pumped full of like hydration IVs.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that he's just got like he's like the Wolverine? He's got like just drips.
Oh yeah.
hanging from his whole body, and he's like.
Well,
Get
I
Joe
hope
just-
so.
yeah.
He needs
Yeah.
something to
Get
keep
him-
him functioning
ready for the speech.
cognitively.
it's so
you know.
funny. I have like no veins. You know, I'm just nothing but adipose tissue. Like I'm thick like a seal.
You're so vascular.
So yeah, I'm the anti-vascular. So
Hi.
we were so
anti-vascular.
I'm anti-vascular. So we were trying to do this and they couldn't find it, and I'm just hungover as shit. And the lady's like trying to like put this like thing around my arm to make my veins pop, and I'm like, they're not in there, man. Like you're just gonna have to go
I don't
fishing.
have veins.
And
Sorry,
she's
you're
like
not
4 times hooking me. So I have this thing in my vein finally, and I'm just bleeding profusely out from the other holes that she left. And I'm like, I feel like you should. You know what? This is fine. I'm good.
Just bleed me out.
Yeah, we're good. I actually feel great right now. This is feeling better than everything else. Just go ahead. Get some leeches going while we're at it here. I couldn't believe it. She was so callous in what she was doing. She was like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. I'm like, ah. And finally she hooked the vein, and we're like, all right, we're good now, I guess. Each of those times that you penetrated my skin, we didn't want to go with a new fucking needle tip. No, just okay. All right, that's fine.
At least you got penetrated.
I had a similar
That's true.
experience.
Is that technically pegged? Did I get pegged?
I
theory-
wouldn't use that
See,
word.
Christian, you're not the only guy that gets pegged here.
He got poked.
We're gonna
Which isn't much
poked,
better.
okay.
we're gonna make a vegan battle bar just after Christian.
Is
Oh,
that,
I like it.
Wow.
Is that
Wow.
because he's a vegan?
I'm
Is
just
he
kidding.
Call it the
Is
fat
that
bar.
part of the package, the vegan package? You get pegged.
Oh yeah. Well, I always tell Christian because he's such an attractive guy that if I were gay, he'd be in trouble.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like I don't feel like he could get to the door before I couldn't force
Before you can
consent.
block it.
Yeah.
That's assuming that you're the top though, right?
Is it assuming?
I like Christian. Gerard's gonna pick Christian up and fucking put him behind him.
Is it an assumption?
He's not even arguing it. He's like, yeah, well,
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess technically it's Einstein's theory of relativity, so maybe there's like always a little bit of a chance of something, but
Yeah.
I
Some
gotta,
room for interpretation.
I got a feeling I'm probably on top.
I was so naive about that. I thought all gay dudes just sort of like took turns. Like,
No, they scissor.
well, I just thought like, okay, you
like,
do me, and
yeah,
then
yeah, that's what I would have assumed
and
too.
then I had a guy that I worked for. He was a gay dude, and he explained it to me. He's like, no. Like, I'm never on top. And I'm like, oof, first of all, gross. But,
Yeah, they got their own style.
How did you?
And I'm like,
how did you come into this conversation?
what's that?
What
Wait,
said
you were
We're
talking?
like,
no,
no, not with me. I totally understand how you got the conversation. By the way, you're very handsome. I appreciate that. And vascular.
Can I tell
I'm
you?
not a
like,
vegetarian though.
That's back when he was vegan.
So I know you can't walk
know.
around. You can't walk around with GW anywhere because he's awkwardly tall. He makes me feel like a tiny person. Then he always sends me like little. Can I say little people? Can I say that?
I think that's what they like
Short
to be called.
kings.
Short kings.
Small, yeah.
Short kings, Christian.
Well, I think he's
Yeah.
talking about little
midgets?
people.
Midgets?
Yeah.
Midgets.
Yeah.
Midgets.
Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Dwarfs. Midgets.
People with
Dwarfs.
dwarfism.
Yes.
Right.
I may or may not have been to a few midget wrestling tournaments. They're pretty awesome.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Well, you're supporting the cause.
great.
It's funny that you would do that, but how many WAB and WNBA games have you been to?
I actually don't know where they host them.
Yeah.
I've actually played with a few.
No one does.
Did you play basketball?
I did not. I wrestled.
Oh, you
I played
wrestled?
football.
No
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Wrestled,
Yeah, he
played
did
football.
manly shit.
Manly
And
shit.
played baseball.
Yeah. Nice. You got a good baseball body right here. This is a good baseball
That's the
body.
sport I should have stuck with. I
Can
was
you,
best
can you
at
tell
it,
them a
but
little bit
I
about
started
grapple
wrestling.
science? Can you tell them about this?
Oh, grapple science?
Have you heard
Wait,
about
no. I want to get to.
He wants to talk about his body a little while
I want to get
longer,
to
all right?
how his boss tried to get him to have gay sex.
No, it wasn't that.
You're so vascular.
Dude, first of all,
You're so vascular.
that boss was the absolute best wingman in human freaking history. He could disarm a woman in like 0.2 seconds.
Women love gay men.
Well, he
That
would
is
only
true.
turn it on. He wouldn't turn. You would never know it, but then he would turn it on and be like, "Oh, girl, you don't have to worry about me." And I'm like, "Oh, here he goes. He's gonna have her. He's gonna see her boobs in
There
like
he goes.
30 seconds.
There he
He'll-
goes doing the old Mickey Gall again.
He'll get her. He'll see her boobs and get her number for like one of the guys. Absolute
I agree with you there.
terrorist
Gay guys are the
of
best
a wingman.
So
Like, the
what do they
best.
do? They just turn on and then it's like diffusing a bomb.
You
Like
never
women
had a
always
gay-
have their.
Have you never had a gay friend in your life? Do you know
Yeah,
anyone? That,
dude, they're amazing.
Bro, I grew up in fucking Jersey and I worked in Brooklyn. How dare you?
Once
How
they,
dare you?
if they,
I've had gay sex without even knowing it. You homophobe.
the best is
I
that
didn't even know it. It was just a huge Adam's apple. Just-
No, I do have a story that.
Oh, boy.
It was a close call. I have gay friends, but don't fall asleep on their couch. Is the moral of that story?
Dude, also don't go into a gay bar and go to the men's bathroom.
Is that right? See, that one I don't have any history with.
Man, there was not a good.
A scene?
what happened?
Is it a sticky situation?
You ever seen? I don't know if there's that movie where what's that movie? Knocked Up. You ever seen Knocked Up?
Yeah, I have.
You know what I'm talking about? Knocked Up when he like runs. He like the dude like runs and he's like, I gotta see you, make sure everything's going good, and he like runs into the room, like the delivery room.
Yeah.
And he like runs over, do not go in there. And that was literally me.
Oh, really?
That was me. I walked in and I'm like, why are there all these feet in this? Oh God. I was with my buddy.
on you. Slow push.
I was with my
Why does it smell like shit in here? More than normal.
Why does it smell like a?
Like I expect the bathroom to have a little bit of a smell, but
No, I was with my buddy who's the.
Why does it smell like shit and shame in this
I was
bathroom?
with my buddy who's this. This sounds so cliche, but he's a gay Canadian, but he's fucking awesome. He's the coolest dude. I've met.
Canadian.
Gay Canadian, but he's the
Canadian?
coolest motherfucker on the planet. But I like just went to the bathroom and I was like, it was like slow motion. I was like, I gotta get out of here. Fuck, dude, this is, and I, man, like I felt like a piece of meat. I was like, you know what? I'm a person.
Yeah.
I'm not just this guy with his voice that
got
Mickey
feelings.
Gall likes.
So true. So true.
It's not just about my voice, Mickey Gall.
So GW, what did your
Tell the
your
people.
boss do to try to bang you, man?
I know you.
Stop.
You like the image of this, huh? You like the visual?
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get
Look at
it.
him. He's a handsome guy.
Yeah,
man.
but
I think-
how else did this conversation come about?
I
Yeah,
think
so you were like,
I
so
agree.
what?
You should
Like, so
probably
he's
tell
like,
him.
so
Let's
what?
go.
You guys take turns? Like one time you bang him, one time he bangs
You think
you.
so? You think
and then-
GW started the conversation?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I think he had to be corrected somehow.
No, I think
No.
he's out to lunch with his
So I had to-
boss, and then they're talking about the fucking Atlanta Braves off-season signing, and then his boss just goes, grabs a cup of coffee, and goes, "You know, we all don't have to bang each other, right? Like sometimes you could just bang me, and I'm cool with
That
it."
sounds like a
Yeah.
Jersey.
I don't need a
Brooklyn
get
kind
back.
I was already in the know about it before he sort of like revealed his true self to me. Not that it mattered, but
How long ago was this?
This was I was in my 20s, so a
Jeez,
long
like
time
100
ago.
years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
a long time ago. Super athletic dude too. Like weird. He ran track in college. Why I know all this shit, but he would
Did he
just come
teach
up,
you?
One might say it's queer.
jump up on your desk like it was nothing and just stand. I'm like, all right, dude, get down. But,
In retrospect, the signs were there.
yeah, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. No, but he also had a thing. Like his thing was he hated gay dudes, and so he was always trying to like turn straight guys. But the guys that worked with him all knew that, and so it was never going to happen. But that was like
Unless
sort
you
of,
need that raise, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you know,
You
I
want a
ain't
promotion?
gay,
Break
but I
out
am
the
broke.
lotion.
might have happened a little bit, but yeah.
I want a promotion, break out the lotion.
I
But a
believe
hell
that's
of
called
a-
the Harvey Weinstein technique.
Hell of a wingman.
That is true.
Hell of a wingman.
So how did the conversation come about where he's like, come on.
Happy about
Yeah.
I think it was just at like dinner or something, not alone, but like the guys.
Yeah, it was
and
alone.
then it was, or it was just like office talk. But yeah.
So who
it
was at dinner with you besides you and your boss?
uh,
He's like,
there was like a bunch
Turd
of dudes
Ferguson.
that worked. It was all, first of all, it was all dudes that worked there,
Yeah.
but they were all straight except for him.
what kind of job was this?
So I got this idea for this unbelievably
It was
great.
at Swingin' Richards.
He's sitting there and he's like, man, I just got involved in this unbelievable company. We're looking for a second round of investment. We're going to have Joe Rogan involved. So you know we all just don't fuck each other, right?
I'm out.
Like it's not like top, bottom. It's just like I could just be the bottom. You're tall.
Yeah, no versatility needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Kill Cliff.
It's
No,
It's
this
cool if
was-
you're just the bottom.
the actual story that Cliff was his
yeah.
boss.
plot twist. Yeah, that's right.
Kill Cliff with love. Kill him with love.
No, I showed you Cliff. That's not possible.
Fuck Cliff to death. Fuck him until he's dead. Yeah, good thing you guys aren't publicly traded companies, huh? All right, so
Naive. That's what I was.
But that's
Yeah.
what's cool about it. It's like, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't like.
Who cares?
So we talked about this off air, and this is something that I've talked to people, especially as they try to like talk about building this parallel economy and like we need to get our own servers, man. And so we like all these other like these pipe dreams about creating this economy insulated from the pressures of ESG and the World Economic Forum and cancel culture at large, right? Because I can't imagine investing my entire life into a product, into a company, and only to be held prisoner and held captive by, you know, some fucking idiot with a Twitter account.
Dude,
I
did that like early on in the business. I used to read all these comments and be like, oh my God, this person doesn't like what we were doing. Now I don't give a fuck. I do not care what anyone, like, you know, I care what our customers who buy from us regular. We know who buys from us. We care about the people who leave us comments, who buy from us. We know who is a regular subscriber. We know who takes that regular trip to 7-Eleven. We know who takes that regular trip to Yesway in Texas. We know all that.
You guys
stuff.
are all over 7-Elevens now, huh?
East Coast at 1,500 stores, baby.
yeah, that's a lesson Bud Light should have learned.
Well, the thing is, like, you know, like, I to your point, like, I've quite literally put my entire life into this. I have 2 kids. I could have stayed when we sold our previous business. I could have stayed and made a shitload of money, cruised and worked like 3 months out of the year. But I decided not to. It was like, I want to do something special. And like, you know, what I didn't tell you guys, like behind Battle Bars, like do you remember the 2016 Dallas police shootings?
Yes.
I feel like I told you this off air once.
No.
Maybe you. So
I don't think so.
So like the true reason behind like Battle Bars, like the outside of wanting to create this product and all this and that because of when we were overseas, is that in 2016 in July, my best friend Pat Zamaripa was killed by a sniper. There was in Dallas. In Dallas, there's 5 police officers who were killed.
Yeah.
And he was one of them.
This was in response, I believe, to that woman killing the
In Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Louisiana.
No, it was in Dallas, I believe. The off-duty female cop killed the black guy. Thought that he was like in her home, but
No. This is separate.
Oh, it's a separate
This
thing?
is different. This is
Okay.
different. So we, you know, I heard about that and I was like, dude, I was beat up. It fucked me up. It really hurt me because this is my boy. The next week we were supposed to be in Chicago. He was supposed to be in Chicago with me at the first Cubs Rangers game at Wrigley ever. Wow. So like it was a big deal for me. So like I ended up going on Fox News. for like a 5-minute interview on Fox and Friends national TV. It was a big because like I don't know if you remember these like this.
Oh yeah, dude. This
it was
is
national TV.
Yeah, and this was like Ferguson, Trayvon Martin. It was like one after the other after the
Dude,
other
it
at
was
that time.
a huge deal. I mean, it was a big deal. I had no idea the magnitude of it because all I cared about was my friend and the mother of his kids and his kids. That's all I cared about, right? I ended up going on national TV. I didn't like. She asked me to do it because there was like this is how scummy people are. People created fake GoFundMe accounts, and like were saying they're going to support his family. She's like, I have no idea who these people are. I've never talked to them. I don't know their names. I don't know. And people are donating money. Can you do?
They were
something
just
for me?
opportunists that were
Yeah,
stealing it.
That happens all the time. So I was like, you know, like fuck it, I'll do it. Fine. Like if this is the way, I can't go fuck this dude up because he's already dead, and I can't go like get like angry about it with anyone else. So like let's try to make something good. If there's anything good that we can pull out of it. So I ended up going on Fox News for 5 minutes. Dude, I left that interview on Fox News. I didn't remember doing it. I walked to my car, sobbed like a little bitch like the whole way. Got to my car, like pulled up the GoFundMe. In 15 minutes from the time I left there to the time, because it was a live interview, got to my car, it was like $200,000.
Wow.
It was like, dude, I swear to you, man, and I'm not the most crazy religious person on the planet, but I swear to you, like I felt like my guy was like right next to me, and I was like something is okay out of this, right? Like he always wanted to be like this famous guy, and he's like the best dude on the planet. But anyway, so after that happened, it's like that's when I said, fuck this, like I don't want to be in this business anymore. I want to go and get into battle bars and own some gyms. And like every time you order online from us or you go on our website, you can look up, you can find out and learn more about Pat Samaripa. You can find out about his family and him and you know the mother of his kids is like her and I are ridiculously close friends. And you want to hear a crazy full circle moment. The guy that shot Pat and the 5 other officers was an Army vet from Afghanistan, actually. Mm-hmm. The crazy thing is, a year into it, I found out that my business partner, Ian, kicked that dude out of the military.
Wow.
How fucked up is that? He kicked this dude out of the military. And it was kind of that moment between Ian and I, we looked at each other, we're like, maybe we're supposed to be doing this. You know, like this business is hard as hell.
Yeah, the world's not that small.
No,
Maybe it's
maybe we're supposed to be making battle bars because holy shit, man. Like you kicked this scumbag out of the military. He was like sniffing girls' underwear or something. Like some crazy shit like in the Middle East, like some weird shit. And you kicked him out.
Probably not the freshest underwear.
Definitely not the
not the freshest underwear.
No, I wouldn't want to sniff that underwear. It's bad. But like, yeah, so like find this out and you're like, wow.
What did you mentioned it's a hard business. What advice would you guys give to like a young businessman trying to come up with their own company? Like who maybe they have their own company and, you know, just to try and keep it afloat, keep it alive, and get some traction.
Yeah, to follow up on that, in the health and wellness space, and then just overall for an entrepreneur as well.
Like veteran specific or just anyone?
Anyone.
I'll take a stab at it, Dubs. Like, you know what I think is like you gotta find something that you are passionate about. If you are like being real with all you guys, I don't make money doing this. I make money in my other investments I've done in my life until we grow this to a certain point where I can make more money from this, right? But you've got to love what you do. You gotta like, and I love protein bars, right? I think that we're making a difference. I love that we have a charity like Operation Enduring Warrior attached to it. I love that I get to tell my friend's story about Pat Samaripa. I love that I get to meet people like you guys and Dubs and all the fighters at the FC, you know. And you got to be passionate because every single day you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you. And you gotta be ready for that. And like Dubs always makes fun of me about this, but I always say like it's such a good fit for the Kill Cliff FC and like entrepreneurs because he makes fun of me all the fucking time.
Here we go.
I say this because it's true. I'm like,
he's setting you up for one, so once he finishes, let him have it.
Yeah.
No, you'll probably let him have it.
I'm saying that like, yo man, like I think that we amend the mentality of an entrepreneur and like a fighter are not far off. Is that you guys, like, you fight one person, you're like, all right, cool, I can have a mini celebration, but I gotta fucking get back at it.
Get right back.
I'm not done. Like, for me, everyone's like, oh, congrats, you're in 7-Eleven, congrats, you're in all these stores. And I'm like,
Next thing.
Yo, man, I don't feel like I should be celebrating right now because it's so fucking hard. And it's like, all right, now that we got this bag order, how do we fulfill it? Where do we go get our ingredients? You know? But so my advice would be is like, you better find something you're passionate at and just be ready to know that you're at some point, and probably pretty quick, you're going to want to quit. But you got to say no. You got to kill the quit. See that in there?
It's going to be difficult. You actually dumbed that down a little bit, and you kind of blazed right through it. But I was listening to him tell Michael Chan, it was like, you and me are like basically the same thing.
I never fucking said that.
I'm an entrepreneur, and you get in the cage and punch people in the face. It's the same thing, right?
Well, I think if I gather kind of what you said, like when you fight and you win, you can't let yourself feel like the fucking man. And when you fight and you lose, you can't let yourself feel like a piece of shit. You got to kind of keep that even. So if you're going to be in business, if you're going to have, victories, you can't be feeling, all right, it's all good here. And if you're going to have failures, you can't be like, all right, I suck, I should quit.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
No, that's it. Yeah. So that like you are going to get your ass kicked every single day. And in order to land an account, like, dude, I cannot tell you how many nights that I've had where I have not slept. And like I go to bed being like, fuck, I hope I can make payroll this month. I hope I can.
Entrepreneurs like being Rocky in Rocky 1.
100%. Man.
That's it.
I hope
it's
I can make
literally
payroll.
getting punched in the face 4,000 times.
Yeah.
Literally punched in the face and punched in the face.
Literally. Sounds like you should tell Michael Chandler that.
Michael
physically,
Phaler
though.
doesn't get punched as much as he punches, but yeah.
True. No, but like, but
Nobody tells you that, but that's basically what
it's true,
happens.
man. Like I tell you what, like I quitting battle bars has crossed my mind a million times, but I'll never fucking do it. I will die before this thing dies. I will literally. I made a point to myself when I was 18. I'm like, all right, when I'm 25, this is how much money I want to make. When I'm 30, this is how much money I want to make. When I'm 35, this is how much money I want to make. And by the time I'm 42, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have an exit from X amount of businesses, and I don't give a fuck how I do it. I'm gonna fucking do it, and I will kill myself.
Just going to get it done.
I'm gonna fucking
find a way.
I will do whatever it fucking takes. And you know what, man? All these people that hate on people who like make all this money in their businesses, like, oh yeah, it must be nice. Go fuck yourself. You know what? Because you know how many fucking Thanksgivings I've had to miss with my fucking kids? You know how many Christmases I had to show up late to because I was killing myself? You know how many times I've had to like spend all day and night like killing myself and then go rush home to my kids' football game?
And that's I can relate to that as well, because some people be like, oh, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Bullshit. If you love what you do and are passionate and driven, you're gonna work your fucking ass off. You're gonna work your ass off. It's not gonna be just fucking rainbows and butterflies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fucking grind. You're gonna have to put that work in, and you're gonna have to sacrifice time, relationships, friendships, whatever the fuck. Your sleep, your health.
Ambition has to be worth more to you than work-life balance.
Yeah.
If you're a work-life balance, like this is one of my favorite things you hear from like
Balance isn't real for the best in the world.
entrepreneurs,
No.
like
Balance.
the entrepreneurs that are always trying to like sell you into a pyramid scheme. Is like, be your own boss, set your own hours, have your own man. When you run your own company, when you have your own business, when you have your own brand, you're all on the clock 24/7.
Dude, you guys are doing it right, fucking.
You make less than you make working for somebody else. Yeah. I mean, literally, just got off from Medellin. Look, we get it, man. But it is kind of hilarious that people think it's like, you opened up a business and now you don't pay your fair share. It's always great to hear somebody talk about you don't pay your fair share from somebody who makes like $35,000 a year and pays like $2,000 in taxes. And it's like, you don't pay your fair share.
God.
And work harder for it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Don't like you play better, man. It sucks. Like there's shit that, and the hardest thing is scaling. When you get to a point where you're actually finally, you didn't make any money. Now you're making a little bit of money, but now I don't have any fucking time. So now I got to hire people to do this, and I'm not making any money again.
Yeah. So now like the idea is you want to like find all the things you're bad at. I suck at so many things, but I'm creative, and I think that I'm passionate. I'll never quit. So I'll always be like, all right, I'm bad at this. You do this for me. I'm bad at this. You do this for
Kind
me.
of delegate it out.
You have to, right? You have to because
I
like
think it's a sign of intelligence. Everyone's got their things they're superior at and things they have deficits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole like Six Sigma thing, like trying to identify the things to prioritize, and it's even if you are good at something, right? Is it the best usage of your time within that role, right?
I learned that in battle bars. best trait is just selling, man. Like in my old business, I sold a shit.
It's the most important It's the most important trait. If you can't sell, there's no business.
Yeah, so I'm like,
and I hate sales. I hate selling. I hate, especially when you're the brand. I fucking hate it because there's nothing. People are like, it's just business. Don't take it personal. You know, there is nothing on earth more personal than business.
Yeah, well, look at this. Like
100.
this is not like me when I talk about this. Like, it's not business to me. Like I have one of our investors. He's one of my best friends. I'll go to his house and he'll be like, dude, can you just like shut it off for like 2 minutes? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I fucking can't, dude. I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I fucking wish I could. I just can't. I'm obsessed. I want to win so fucking bad that like I'm never gonna stop. And then like that's not like some rah moment. It's my life, man. Like, you know, you give everything you put into it, and just like you in the fight game, like you've been through so much shit with your back, and like, oh my God, man. And like, but have you quit? Have you fucking stopped? You're fucking
No, hell no. I'm feeling better than ever.
Yeah, man, you look great. I mean, I don't know. Should we lace
It's
them up,
important to know.
Dubs?
It's important to know that you don't always have to switch. You can just be a bottom.
That's it.
Well,
That's
speaking
it.
of that, you know what's even gayer than G-Dub's old boss?
What?
Airports.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear this. I've been waiting all.
Bro,
But
listen.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
please.
G-Dubs. Please,
No, I was
G-Dubs.
going to say on
Please.
the entrepreneur side,
Yeah.
like the business starting, it's easier than ever to start a business, but it's now in our current times, it's harder than ever to be successful at it. And people kind of want to skip over all that work, and they see someone successful, they kind of want to just jump to
All
it.
that instant gratification.
Right. So it is a matter of like, no one wants to work for anyone anymore. Right. So running a business now is finding like people to work for you. It's damn near impossible because
competent people on top of it.
Well,
Boom.
confident people,
That's
there's too much distraction. So you get them in, you train them, and they're gone. You're like, okay, that sucks. So, because it's that easy to start your own business, but it's really hard to be successful at it. So put the time in, get a mentor, and solve a problem. Those are the two things right there. Put the time in, work for someone else that you admire and is intelligent and is doing
Someone
something.
you want to
that-
be like. Someone that you respect, who has more knowledge in the game than you.
and be loyal to that person, and then they're going to dump all their knowledge on you, and then you can, after you've spent 2, 3, 4, 5 years,
100%, man.
then you can step out
great
successfully
advice.
and do that. But a lot of people just don't want to do that. They don't want to work for anyone anymore.
Yeah, the
that's
most
kind of like what we're
you're
getting.
saying, like that common path is not like I got out of high school or college and I learned from my degree and I started a company. No, man, the right way to do it is like
Real
fuck
world
that.
learning.
I got my
Don't
communications
go
degree.
to college.
No, dude.
go get a mentorship.
I didn't go to college.
And
I went to the military and I met this dude, and he wasn't GW's boss, but I went and met this dude, and like I started working for him, and we blew a company up to almost 300 people.
Because you had the hustle mentality, and
Yeah, man.
I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you go to college, like, and I want to come back to this because I like where you were going with this, G-Dub.
Dead on.
The concept is like you're coming out of college and people think, okay, well, I got a degree, I got a master's degree, I'm worth 90 grand. You haven't done anything.
nothing.
When you're 24 years old and you're in an office setting, you're going to get coffee and learn what to do. You're going to have no idea what to do, and half your bosses aren't going to know what to do with you. Right, so you get into this corporate environment, you try to become a cog in a wheel, and the company culture is going to determine where you fit in there, right? So it's like, well, I went to school for communications. What the fuck does that mean?
yeah.
Like, so what? How do I use you here at AT&T? You know, so the mentorship I find to be such an important concept. But the barrier of entry for that is very, very difficult. I don't think people know how to find that mentor and get through the kind of all the different hurdles you have to get to get that as well.
You send 1,000 emails. You figure out, you get these emails and you send them out, and someone's going to respond. Like, we had a guy come in that he was an Army Ranger, Chris, and he came and worked with us. But he saw Kill Clips. He's like, oh, this shit's great. And then he just emailed the guy. Me and Todd weren't even there. Chris Irwin, who was a dev group guy working there, he was the president of Killcliff for a while. He sent him over to Todd, and just from picking up the product and sending an email, met with Chris, and then met with Todd, and then met with me, and we put him on. And Todd's like, I like this dude, and so we just started working with him, and you know, he was with us for like years. But it's that. I'm not saying don't go to college, but I'm also saying,
I'm saying
don't
You
go
don't
to college.
need to.
I'm
If you're
saying that
18,
unless you're gonna be a
19,
doctor
and you
or
just
like
start
a lawyer or-
trying to find that mentorship, in 4 years, you're not going to make anything for the first 2-3 years, but you're going to learn. And if someone likes you, they're going to put you on. And then where are you going to be? You know, a communications degree and you're $60,000, $80,000 in debt, or you've got a relationship and you've got a network and you've got successful people around you and you're already 4 years into the workforce.
So a significant portion of our audience is 18 to 25, right? What if they love the Kill Cliff product, if they love Battle Bars, and why shouldn't they? And they were going to send you an email, and they wanted to make some sort of value proposition that would make them worth your time. What should they put in that email? How should they approach it?
That's a great question.
And now you're going to get 10,000 emails. So like theoretically,
it just depends on what they want to do. But I think just by introducing yourself and saying, "Hey, man, I'm impressed with this product. I love what you guys are doing. I don't know anything about this, but I really want to know." You know, like, and just put yourself out there. And I think just being honest like that and sending just not 2 emails, but as many as it takes till finally someone will answer you and you can actually go meet with them. You'd be surprised how far you can get if you just try and reach out to people, because they will respond.
You know what? I have this business mentor who, actually the guy that I was telling you about.
Right down the block.
Right down the block.
Yeah.
This guy is just like stud, man, like stud in business. And you know what he told me, which I attribute to most of my success in sales or whatever, is like, because it's not even sales. He's like, you know how you do sales? He's like, you become a good person, and when you talk to people, you listen to what they're doing. You listen, and you try to help them. And if you get nothing out of it in return, you know what you got? You got a good friendship out of it, and you help them.
It's called being authentic.
Yeah, so if you're real, and you're like if Mickey and I are boys, and I'm like, yo, like Mick, like how can I help you? And I help you out, and I do something for you, but I get 0 out of it. Whatever, man. We're cool though, right? And it helped you out, and then now I made a friend for life. Right?
So I got. And then when that person's in an opportunity, hopefully they do right by you as well.
They do right, and they learn from that. And like, dude, a backstory behind this is like, I was our old business. There was a big rut in it, and the shortened version is I went to Vegas, and I met that same guy for the first time, and we sat around a table and had like dinner. And the dinner ended up being like fucking almost $5,000. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like this younger kid who was like trying to make it in the sales world. And like, I look over and like they wanted to play credit card roulette. You ever played that?
yeah.
So you play credit card roulette, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
So I hope the dinner's under $150.
So I put my credit card in there. It was $5,000, dude.
Yeah.
I put my credit card in this hat, and I'm like, just take my credit card now, because I know it's gonna get picked. And sure enough, there's my credit card. They pick it. Oh. They had a funny story for years. So for 5 years, I was telling this guy, I'm like, yo, if you have something that you can do, like if you need something from me, from some of your customers, and like out of context, this is hard to understand, but I was like, if you need something from your customers, call me one day. Just call me. And we just stayed friends. We just stayed in touch. We like, when I would come to Florida, we'd hang out. I go to Jersey. I go to his charity golf outings. And then one day, 5 years went by. One day, the day before Thanksgiving, he calls me, and it's like 4 p.m. And I'm like, yo, Greg, what's up, man? He's like, I need X done by midnight tonight. And I was in logistics and shipping. He's like, can you move X amount done for this customer by midnight tonight? And I was like, yes. I had no idea if I could do it. I was like, yes, we'll do it. Anyway, over the next 2 months, we made like $4 million.
Wow.
Over 2 months, the business made $4 million.
Paid for that dinner.
Change your life.
It changed my entire life.
Your
Changed the trajectory of my
entire-
life, but it took 5 years.
Stepped up and took that opportunity.
So let
and he
me
delivered.
play devil's advocate on that for a second, because that's a great story, and I think what you're saying is 100% real and true.
Sure.
But also, it's idealized, because the unfortunate truth of sales is that most of the people in sales are working from a position of income insecurity, and they're selling a shit product, which is why they're trying to hire salespeople.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are in a position where I'm commissioned and I have a family and I need to make money and my product is inferior, which is the whole reason my job exists, kind of that be the good guy and be of service mentality isn't really an option for a lot of these people.
Well, then I would say to that, like, back at it, it's like, you're not in the right spot, man. Like, you got to find your niche. Like, you got to find your niche and find your people. Like, in my sales role, I found my people. Like, I had a great crew around me in my original gig. Like, I had a great crew of people who everyone supported. And I had like, if I was up till 4 in the morning, I had people who were up till 4 in the morning. And we all work so well together. Like, dude,
but you're not selling extended warranties on a car.
Oh, well, then I also didn't want to. If I wanted to, I bet you I fucking could sell extended warranties on a car.
Sure.
Maybe.
You could sell those. You could sell anything though.
Catch a popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Believe it or not, there are sales gigs that don't involve a shitty product or service. There's obviously all of the good products and service have salespeople too. So,
but like selling those things, hearing what someone, I don't know who said this, but like back in the day, like at this company, I was making 150 to 200 calls a day sometimes, right, on average, and I'd hear 150 no's, but on that 151st call, I'd hear a yes, right?
Sure.
So then, I forget who said. Someone said this on a podcast before, but it resonated with me. So that cool. That 151st call made me X amount of dollars, but it's like no, that 151st call didn't make you X amount of dollars. Every call before that made you that money.
Yeah, it was probably Chaz Palminteri on Slick and Thick where he told our audience that because I struggle personally with no. It's hard for me to overcome no. I hear like 5 or 6 no's and I'm like, all right, well, fuck this. You know what I mean? And like Chaz was very good about, I mean, people don't know. Chaz was 10 years in LA before he sold a Bronx Tale. Yeah. Chaz was driving around a car that didn't have a bottom in the driver's side, in the passenger side seat. And in my business, the hardest part of my business as a comedian is not telling jokes. It's getting booked and getting paid what you're supposed to get paid for the booking. Yeah. You know, and it really, like, hearing the no becomes debilitating. You don't make the emails. You don't make the calls. You're like, well, fuck it. If they want it, they'll call me. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, some guys get punched in the face and they're like, all right, I'm cool with it. I keep moving forward. Other guys get punched in the face and I'm like, I don't fucking like getting punched in the face. And like the thing that I think as I get older and I meet people, success seems to really accumulate in that demographic that is somehow doesn't let no affect them. You know?
100%.
I think, I mean, no still affects me, man. I'm like, how could you say no to carrying battle bars? I'm like, how could you? And they're like, because that's all, but you got to also respect that that's not the most important thing in their lives just because it is in mine. And that's why it's like, you got to build a relationship with people and like have that mentality of don't expect anything. Don't expect anything from them. If you know, like one of my best customers.
That's a great point. They don't owe you anything.
They don't owe you shit.
They don't owe you anything. That's a good mentality to have. Yeah, it's kind of like taking the ego out of it.
Yeah, you take the ego out of it. And you know, my best customer is not my best paying customer. You know why they're my best customer? Because it's a company called Yes Way and Allsips. And they have like 500 stores in Texas and through the Midwest. It's like a growing company. But the buyer there, her sons are in the military. And they were doing, like, her son's going to do the same job. We flew her out. You met them, right? In Sioux Falls. We flew them out to South Dakota to the fights out there at the Bellator fights. And we just have such a great relationship. And she's like, since we've started, like, doing business together, she has introduced us to competitors, to like multiple companies so we can be successful because we get along so well that she's like, I want to see you guys succeed. You know, and even 7-Eleven, they're like, it hasn't been easy. And the people there are like, we want you guys to succeed. You know, the CEO is a West Point grad and he's like, they love military, right? But even like the buyers are like, we want to figure out a way to work with you guys because we like you guys. We want to see you succeed. And at the end of the day, they're like I can't tell how many people have been like, yeah, this isn't what, even if I can't help you, I want to figure it out. And those are the people that are like, all right, I'm going to latch onto you and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make you be successful, even if it gives me nothing.
Life-sized, slick and thick cardboard cutouts at the end of the aisle in 7-Eleven undoubtedly will be successful.
I like that.
Undoubtedly.
On the Dreamsicle bars.
Yeah. The Dreamsicles. Yes.
Or the salted caramel.
I got to tell you, they're kind of selling me on the creamsicle here, bud.
A man's good at sales.
He's created the relationship, and now,
he's steering.
I don't need anything from you in return except a Dreamsicle.
I'm here for it. And the no
Is it
goes
just
back
because
to,
of Gerard's shirt?
I think it might be.
That's literally
I think it might be. I think it might be. Yeah. How many no's did you hear from the Rogan? Yeah. How many no's did you hear from the Rogan camp before you got them involved?
We didn't hear any. Really?
Zero.
Well, we had kind of nurtured that relationship for years. It's probably going on like 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, that he kind of knew who we were. We're kind of following along. We just had this sort of arm's length relationship where we just sent him product and he gave us a little shout here and there, every once in a while, a little note. And that was it. But when we launched that CBD drink, the first flavor, and we put limited edition on it, we didn't even know if what was gonna happen. So we just slapped limited edition on there. But we sent him some too, and he immediately contacted us. He's like, dude, this is my favorite drink. And we're like, wow, awesome. We're on the right track, which was really just, our original tasty blood orange flavor with the CBD formula in it.
So good.
And so from that point forward, we were like trying to figure out like, well, how do we sort of make this relationship like professional, and that's when we were kind of putting our heads together and figuring out it'd be great to get Joe Rogan in the brand. And then we started talking. He put us in touch with his people. Great first step. It took a while to sort of nurture that. And then we finally came to an arrangement, I think, that he was super excited about. His people were giving him the thumbs up. And, we were more than happy to make that happen. And that's basically how it happened. He was a fan of the brand. He was a fan of the product, and he'd been drinking it for a long time. And then when the CBD one came out, he's such a big, proponent of CBD, and that was it. That kind of was the catalyst to make it like a real thing.
I didn't know Joe Rogan liked weed.
Yeah. Wait till Kill Club comes out with a DMT drink. That's gonna be fucking nuts.
Right.
Dude,
That's gonna be,
you want to talk
think
about
the FDA you think the FDA likes you now?
It was a slow burn. It wasn't and I think that's exactly how people hang in his orbit for a long period of time. It's no one just comes in and is like, whoosh, he kind of vets you for a very long time.
Yeah, but you want to talk about, like, the word influencer gets thrown out there so much. That dude is the ultimate influencer.
He's Johnny Carson.
I agree.
He's the new Johnny Carson.
Well, because
he gives the blessing.
Because you know why? Because he's not like, I eat too to make me strong.
Yeah.
Like, I think you guys are authentic as shit how you do it, because there's nothing, like, you guys genuinely enjoy it and it comes off as real, and that's why I love you guys so much, man. But like Rogan, if he's eating, drinking it, using it, it's because he genuinely uses it, and you feel that from him, right? You feel it, that he's just
genuine. Genuine's a word.
Yeah, he's being authentic as hell. He's being
that's
incredibly authentic.
And not that people give a shit, but I am going to toot our own horn for a second. We get offers all the time for shit that we don't like, and we don't take it. And we could use the money, but we don't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things where we're just like, man, this don't work. This ain't good. This is no thanks, man. And like, yeah, I mean, so like when we say we like battle bars, is it because my fat ass likes battle bars? They're fucking tasty. They're healthy. You could take his word for it, and they're tasty. You could take my word for it. So like, it works, man. And like, I think to your point about it's a slow burn. There's a great Irish saying where you're going to be penny wise, pound foolish, right? Like, you take upfront money and then nobody fucking trusts your word ever again when they taste this thing. And it's like, this is trash. Yeah. So if Slick and Thick's going to the moon and we're going to do 1,000 episodes and we do 100 episodes selling out, and it's going to take us 500 to get any fucking credibility back. And it's no different than anything else that you're doing. If you go what the investors told you go the quick route, you throw the sucrose in there, you throw the fucking the pesticides and the preservatives in there, and you sell the thing for $1 less to try to get in every other place, and Kellogg's buys you, that's going to make you a lot of fucking money. But that brand's going to be a shit brand.
Yeah, but to your point, like what we're just talking about is that people feel that. Like, I feel that. I can tell when a brand sells out. Do you remember Muscle Milk?
Of course.
Dude, when Muscle Milk first came out, that was one of my favorite inspirations for a brand. When they first came out, dude, I would chug that.
I was drinking Muscle Milk.
Oh my God, it was incredible.
Every night I was drinking that shit.
Yo, man,
it tasted amazing.
Not in like the plastic bottles, but the paper.
Yeah, the one where you gotta pull the little thing
off.
Carton, yeah.
And you just pounded it, and it was like, oh my God, man, like, how is this so good? And then you know what happened? They get bought out. And they get bought out, and you know what happened? They loaded it with a bunch of bullshit. It tastes like shit, and you're like, ugh, man, you guys just ruined an awesome product. And that's why, like, as much as I want to take Battle Bars in 5 years and tell you guys, yo, I just sold this company for $100 million. I wouldn't do it if they were like, I'm going to take this and we're going to just make it cheap as fuck. Yeah. It's going to taste like peasant shit, and then, like, that's it. Like, no, man, we work really hard to make a product that we care about it. We like stare at every ingredient. we
Iraqis boiled so this could exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
We
can't-
made MRE bombs
Yes.
into their heads.
Yeah, you know that's part of the research and development process. You have to trust the science.
Trust the grapple
Yeah.
science.
Ah,
Dude,
what
I
is
did
grapple
Hey.
science? And is Joe Rogan a top or a bottom
Great.
in grappling? Does he like to play guard?
Like your boss.
I would imagine that I have no idea, first of all, but I would imagine Joe Rogan would probably want to be on top in a grappling match.
Well, he's more of a taekwondo guy, right, Mick? Is he
No,
kickboxing?
he's a legit jujitsu
He's a black belt.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, under Eddie Bravo, the 10th Planet system.
Oh, so then maybe he does want to play guard.
I've never seen any footage of him grappling though, so I don't know. Have you guys?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Rogan?
Rogan's legit.
Like
Yeah.
I've seen little mini clips, but nothing like a 4 or 5 minute match or anything. Or
He, unlike the boss, is versatile. He can play top or bottom.
Ah, whatever you need, baby. It's a
Whatever-
Friday
whatever
night,
it
however
calls
you
for.
want it to go.
Did you
love
know?
it.
Did you know G Dubs over here is a black belt himself?
Oh yeah.
I am a black belt. Yeah, second degree black belt.
So what's the story with Grapple Science?
Grapple Science is a brand that's launching literally this month. The CEO of Killcliff, ex-CEO John Timar, and myself and one other individual, we're all been in the grappling space for a long, long time. And we just saw a massive hole, and that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. It's like solve a problem,
Right.
With the starting a business, like solve a
What
problem.
did they say? Deficit's the mother of invention or innovation, something like that. What's that saying?
Necessity is the
necessity.
mother of invention. Yeah,
Okay.
when you need something, that's usually when you try and make it. You know,
I believe
what
that's
you need.
Plato. He was also a wrestler.
It's true.
Plato means wide.
Wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Grapple Science is
Bet you didn't learn that in fucking Baghdad.
I'm like,
Didn't learn that in fact.
such a loser.
it'll be a full like 360 brand that is catering toward that MMA grappling space. So it'll be supplements, gear, apparel, paywall content, technique, and it'll be everything. It'll be MMA grappling, BJJ, gi BJJ, judo. We'll even have sambo on there, and it'll just be sort of all inclusive. But it hopefully, a year from now, you'll be like, man, it felt like Grapple Science has always been there.
Is it like a Skillshare or like a masterclass type of idea, or
Well, really, there's a few other websites that are doing kind of paywall content where it's technique driven, and they do really well, but they're just not. It's kind of amateurish looking, and I think they're making tons of cash, and the demand is there tenfold. So, if there's a way to do that with sort of a better
curriculum almost, or
just a higher sort of the content will look better. It'll be more organized.
Better
So,
production
Yeah,
values.
the guy, one of the partners that we have, he's had a production company for 20 years. He's doing a ton of Red Bulls content, making all the movies for them, like rock climbing movies and stuff. So he's got the level that will come in. It'll just be sort of top notch, and then we'll have something for everybody on top of that. But also the supplements. So we just spent the last months and months and months designing specific supplements for the grappling space, stuff that's not out there now, kind of pulling from these other sports and bringing them to the grappling space, some of the endurance sports, and some other stuff that grapplers might not know about. There's no real one-stop shop for grapplers. They kind of have to poke around and put it together themselves. And
Right.
so we'll have a panel of subject matter experts, over the next year in nutrition and physical therapy and stretching, and then on top of that, all of the technique, So it should be grapplescience.com. Find
Hit
us
me
on-
up when you guys are ready to do those technique things.
Yeah,
I'll get in
absolutely.
there. G got to see me do 2 seminars when we were out in
it
Colombia.
was wild. People driving hours from all over Colombia to come to.
Dude.
I crush seminars, don't
Well, you
I?
did 3. You did MMA Colombia, you did Gracie Colombia, and you did Zona de Combate. And I will give you all the credit you deserve. You crush fucking seminars.
Crush seminars.
You really do.
Crush them.
Yeah, and so well that you showed the Darce with the adjusted movement from the turtle position, and the kid hit it to win the freaking grappling match.
that weekend. Yeah.
Very cool. That's a good feeling when you're like, oh shit, the guy was actually
Well, the kid came out of the cage. He's commentating. The kid came out of the cage. He'd be like, "You showed me that. You showed me that." It was
Amazing.
pretty dope. It was a dope moment.
Amazing. We'll absolutely take you up on that, and we will absolutely. We have there's a camp called Camp Vertex that our partner launched. I'd say earlier this year, and so it's an hour outside of Dallas. it's at a place called Skyfall Reserve. I don't know if you're a big hunter, but we're actually working something for Killcliff FC guys to go out there. But it's like we're doing these weekend camps out there where you're getting like world champion level BJJ, and then also trained by ex-DevGru Navy SEAL snipers on firearms, long distance shooting, carbine shooting, and pistol shooting. And you don't have to bring anything, just show up. They give you rash guard, they give you a gi, all the bullets, all the rounds, all the guns are there.
Holy shit,
and
that's incredible.
It's pretty dope, man.
And then you go.
That's awesome.
They dial you in and they take you.
You're doing tactical training and shit.
All of it, whatever you
Wow.
want to do, but it's all by SEALs, ex-SEALs that were all career guys. But then they'll take you night hunting, smoke some hogs with night vision every night while you're out there.
Eat the best food and like just everyone's just.
Oh yeah,
wow.
he's been out there.
That's incredible.
Also ask the guy who runs the camp how my car is doing right now. I have to give him a shout out.
Did not ever get fixed.
I don't even know.
Oh, that was a rental car. Yeah, he backed over your rental car with a big truck.
And like,
What?
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I pulled up to the rental place at like 4 a.m. the next day, and I was like, yeah just.
I don't know.
So that
I bought the insurance, right?
I gotta go though. My flight's leaving.
I never get that, but I
didn't
always
buy the
think, I'm
insurance.
like, damn, I should have got that.
That's $17 a day insurance.
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I declined it today.
Shout out Steve-O. Thank you.
Word to the wise, if you're getting a rental car and it's an electric car, check the battery when you get in. Just fuck.
First of all, I don't know if you guys can tell, but Dubs is 863 years old. So on top of that, he does not know how to work anything that is electric car and or electric anything. So, true or false?
Well, not apparently that. Call
He's
me
like,
stupid.
"Oh,
Call
my-
me naive again.
my vibrator
Top
works great."
bottom.
Those are battery operated. That's not electric.
Sure.
I thought
Solar.
like
It's solar.
all electric cars had the same plug. Apparently they don't. Like, so my hotel. First of all, the rental car. I won't name the name. They gave me a electric car with 24%.
What are you worried about that?
Avis, fuck it.
Man, what a savage.
Fuck them. They gave me a car with 24%
I'm a
battery.
preferred Avis member.
Oh shit!
No big
It's
deal.
actually one of our big sponsors. Fuck you.
I
GW.
was, yeah. And I didn't notice it until I'm on the highway, and it's
Somebody
like
at
I'm at
Hertz is watching us right now, like, oh, tell them louder.
Dubs.
And so I called my hotel. I'm like, hey, I have about less than 10% on this car battery. Do you have a charger? Like, absolutely, we got it. Just get here when the valet will charge it. And then they call up. You're like, yeah, we only have a Tesla charger. And I'm like, well, just plug it the fuck in then. And they're like, no, it doesn't fit. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
there
it's
was
like iPhones and Androids.
I'm like, do you
got
got a-
different fucking.
you got a fucking dongle
didn't
for
realize
it or whatever it takes. Like, get a dongle. Like,
Get a
Yeah,
dongle.
Can you
dongle
jump
it up.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I learned something new.
That's
And
hilarious.
So I went to a public lot and plugged it in for an hour, and I got 10%.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Roughly an hour,
good
and I
numbers.
got 10%.
Good numbers there.
So yeah, it was. BS.
Also, the lot was not lit up whatsoever, so it looked like it was like one of those like hand job lots where you go in there and you're like
tops of
There it
tons
is.
of
Not that I
tops
know
and
those
bottoms.
are.
Tops and bottoms there for sure. As he stands there, vascular in his medium T-shirt, fucking
medium,
sitting there with like, yeah, it's a Prius. What about it?
Hey, it's
Not
a
a-
Mustang.
That's a
actually.
hybrid.
It's
by
a
the way.
hybrid Mustang.
No, it's that Mach E Ford. They call it a Mustang, but it doesn't look like a Mustang.
Oh,
but
really?
It's fully electric. Yeah.
Wow.
And you do need a dongle because it won't fit in a Tesla charger.
But they didn't give you the dongle as part of the rental.
No, it took me 45 minutes on customer service to figure that out. I'm
Holy
like,
shit.
So she's like, did you look
As
in
he
the trunk for
picked
the
up his
adapter?
rotary
I'm like,
phone.
there's an adapter. You could have mentioned that at the beginning,
This
maybe.
is a nightmare scenario.
And I'm like, is it always in the trunk? She's like, sometimes. It's like,
Sick.
yeah, sick.
Which is still some of the best customer service you'll ever get at any airport in America.
Can't wait. Come on, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, we've been teasing these airport debacles.
Guys,
Where
go
do we
ahead.
start, bro? I think
we begin?
I mean, we've been seeing in our travels just how shitty the whole process is. You're getting bitched at by the TSA. You're getting bitched at by the air stewardesses, the air waitresses,
air cops.
Like they act like chaperones on a field trip. I mean, they're like bossing you around like teachers. Let's start on this trip. On our way to Colombia, We're in Fort Lauderdale Airport. Normally,
Well, let's start before
Pretty
the
good.
trip, Mick. I had to get my passport renewed.
oh, that's fun.
All right, and the process now.
I had to fly to New Orleans to get my passport done when I needed to expedite it.
Yeah. Everything government touches turns to shit.
Yes.
That is the bottom line. I'm going to skip to the very end and then I'll get into detail. And I will prove mathematically that everything government touches turns to shit. Government is good at two things: murder and kidnap. They are so fucking good at murder and kidnap. They're the best in the history of the world. They have a monopoly on
Our
violence.
government, you're saying, or any
Governments in general exist to murder, kidnap, and use the leverage of potential murder and kidnap to make you do whatever they want to do.
yeah.
Okay? Our government just happens to be the best to ever fucking do it. So they give us this illusion that we're in control when we're not in fucking control of anything.
Didn't you say that in your last one? You're like, yo, they're like, they threatened to shut down. We're like, you're going to shut down? The government's going to shut?
Yes.
What do we
Yeah,
do?
to prove how useless they are.
What do we
if they-
do?
That's why
Yeah,
they
and
won't
then
do
the
it.
fucking shut down.
And then the simps in the comments are like, oh, the non-essential employees won't get their paychecks. Blah, 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 blah. If everybody in TSA lost their job tomorrow, it would be a fucking humanitarian win. If they all, 53% of our Americans, we're going to become a communist nation. We're going down the road of a social. 53% of our GDP is spent on fucking government jobs and expenses anyway. We're already a socialist country. We're there. We crossed the Rubicon. And these fucking room temperature IQ fucking bureaucrats are so bad at their job, okay, that you have to get naked to go through their fucking machines, and they still can't catch the bad guys.
If they have 10 machines in there, 2 are going.
2 are going.
Yeah.
2. And the lines are backed up through out through the front of security.
There's not enough people working. Why not? Why not? You generated more tax revenue in the last 3 years than the history of the fucking country combined. Taxes aren't high enough. We brought in more tax revenue last year than we ever did in any year of our history, except for the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. Okay? We've spent $9 trillion fucking dollars in the last 3 years. And everything is worse. We didn't fix a fucking pothole in this country, but we can send $165 million worth of services, assets, and money to fucking countries abroad to fight their wars and fund their economy. But we have to have 2 fucking room temperature IQ fucking morons working a fucking $100 million machine to make sure that you don't have 8 ounces of fucking water shoved up your ass.
You know what's crazy when you say 165 million? You said million.
Billion.
A billion, forgive me.
No, but my point is, like, you said 165 million. I was thinking, fuck, 165 million is a lot of money. But then I was like, wait a minute. To get to a billion,
Yeah.
you have to times 165 million by the, and then you're like, wait a minute, but then it's actually billion.
Yeah.
Holy
Forgive me.
shit, that's
Forgive
a lot
me.
of money, dude.
Yeah.
It's so much freaking money that, like, we just are like, we'll print more.
Now, on top of it, to get harassed in these airports, air travel is 300 times more expensive than it was in 2019. A $100 ticket in 2019 costs you $300 today. Round trip $600 to get fucking harassed on the way in, to get your knee
Dude,
broken
it's crazy.
in the air, to get harassed
The,
on the way
the
out.
harassment and like the fucking disrespect. And like you see like how people they're so like jaded, I guess is the best word, where they're just like, they're so sick of dealing with people, so they treat everybody like shit.
Yeah, jaded.
At these
I
airports,
think jaded is giving them the benefit of the doubt, Mick. They're fucking antagonistic. They're antagonistic. The lady that we had a 3-hour flight from Medellin to Fort Lauderdale. We were in customs for 2 hours and 45 minutes getting off the fucking plane.
Just standing there, herded like cattle, take a couple steps, getting yelled at. No, the line's over here. This is the like unbelievable.
It took us as long to get from baggage claim to our fucking car as it did from Medellin to fucking Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, facts. Bro, I was on a flight like 2 weeks ago, and the stewardess, aka an air cunt, was like walking around trying to like tell everybody like talking to everybody like she was like the teacher. It's like tray tables need to be up. This needs to be here. Why is this there? I literally was gonna like I wanted to like grab her or like just like at a point be like, hey, I really don't like the way you're talking.
Yeah, moderate your tone, dude.
Like,
moderate your tone.
I'm like it's because but then like she was like wearing a mask and like I was like she's probably not gonna. I wanted to almost be able to hey like the way you're talking is like really like rubbing like. I don't think anybody's appreciating it, and I know I think it's like a jaded thing where they're not trying to deal with these people. You know what I mean? They think they have this authority, and they're just like over it.
Then fucking quit. I paid $600. Shut the fuck up. This isn't a fucking. You're not doing me a favor here.
You're supposed to be an air waitress. You're not like mine. I didn't ask for a boss.
And on top of it,
you're like bossing up.
They got $30 billion in subsidies because the government shut down air travel. So they got $30 billion in taxpayer money, jack the prices up 3x, and treat us worse than ever. Pete Buttigieg should resign yesterday.
I had a little bag with my training gear in it. I was walking through there like, no, that's $90. $90 for my fucking bag. They bang you out. They bang you out.
The audacity.
I love it.
Dude, and it's just from beginning to fucking end. And you know what was nuts, guys, about being in Medellin? You didn't see a traffic cop. There's no laws.
It's all just kind of suggestions, but everything goes smoothly.
Somehow, some way, society maintains.
No, they actually just do roadblocks down there and then physically just take the money from you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that.
Yeah. No.
Well,
I'd almost prefer that.
It's the system.
like,
You're
fair.
like, well, that's just it's
Everything's been so nice lately. It's got to be something.
There you go. Have a tip off.
I lived in
part
Spain.
of the tax. Like, I'm getting taxed. Here you go. Here's my money.
I lived in
Keep
Spain
going.
for like 2 years, and you're right. You could go 1,000,000 miles an hour on a motorcycle, car. They don't care, but you could. Everyone drove hammered. Everyone drove hammered. They didn't care. They're not going to pull you over. But you fuck up, they're going to destroy you. They're going to make you miserable.
Fair.
But in Spain, which is fair, right? But in when I lived in, and this again, just speaking about Spain, when there was no murders.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't hear about murders, but I tell you what, there's some fucking breaking into cars. Like there are some seriously pro carjackers and what are the gypsies? There's gypsies everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to detract because
No,
my man is ready to just hate.
But here's the thing. Alex,
He's talking about he's going to go on
man.
Fox News and talk about this.
No, but this is what's fucked up, all right? Because this isn't just about me bitching and moaning about having to wait in line. It was inhumane. There was old women that were walking. You had to go up, down, and around the entire airport to get into just the zigzag
it was at
customs.
least a quarter mile like line.
There's no water. There's no food. There's no concessions open. I'm hearing these women like crying, like I have to go to the bathroom, but then people are going to think I'm cutting in line. They have babies. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like, this is the United fucking States of America. Yeah. This is the first time these people are stepping foot in here. We're citizens. This is how we treat our citizens. We're getting barked out. This lady's threatening. You're not allowed to record. She's threatening me. I'm going to have you arrested if you keep recording. I'm like, I thought this was fucking America. I'm a citizen.
So what they should do is go to Mexico and just cross the border.
Would have been easier. It would have been easier.
It might have worked.
Just all you got to do is just go to Mexico and just walk across there.
It's so
4 million.
It's so broken, and the idea is that when I posted this on my Instagram, people were like, "It was the same thing last week." I couldn't believe how long it took. It was so unorganized. The people were so nasty. This is not a bad day. This is a bad system. All right. And it's not for lack of funding. So you're stealing the lives, the hours, taxes, people. Taxes are not money. Taxes are the hours of your life. If you work a 9-to-5 job, if you have a W-2, that money was never yours. The government took it from you before you even had a chance to hold it in your hand. It never even reached your account. It was taken from your check. They stole the hours of your life from you.
Yep.
And what did you get in return? Antagonized, harassed, corruption, and war, and kidnapping. And then they condescend you when you ask, hey, so what's going on with that money? What are you, a racist, a fucking Putin supporter? What are you, a fucking transphobe? They're fucking robbing us blind, laughing while they're doing it. I'm now old enough, I'm at a weird point in my life where I can actually remember being an adult in a different time that was fucking better.
Yeah.
It was better then. It was less expensive then. It was people in government and government adjacent bureaucracies like TSA were held accountable. You couldn't just treat people like shit. You'd lose your job. It's a microcosm of everything else that's happening. It's a large microcosm, but it's the fabric is ripping apart in so many different ways. New York City, my hometown, where I grew up, essentially. Brooklyn, Jersey, my parents working there. It's devolving into a third world country.
Legit.
There's trash everywhere. There's filth everywhere. There's fucking hypodermic needles on the streets. You can't ride the subways without legit serious threat of physical violence and harm coming to you. It was not that way 20 years ago. It just wasn't. Why are we okay with this? Why are we okay with spending 3 times fucking as much money on airplane tickets and groceries and gas?
For worse services.
And more money, and just to your point about taxes. Dude, when we sold our last company, I remember, like, I worked my ass off, dude. I was eating, like, barbecue sauce sandwiches at one point in my life. I was so broke, right? And I was killing myself. And when we sold our last company, I remember going, oh, man, I'm so excited. We got this money. The money hit our accounts. And then I talked to my accountant. He's like, all right, you owe X amount of dollars to the government. I went, what? Wait, that's 13 years of my life that I just poured into this fucking business. And you just take that away? No wonder what. And then it hit me. I was like, no, because I never used to be crazy, like, into, not politics. I don't care about right. I don't care about any of that stuff, right, left. I don't care about that. I care about right and wrong and common sense.
I like that.
Right? It's common sense. And you look at it and you're like, wait a minute. So you take this? What the fuck are you going to do with that? I just killed myself for all that money. And you're going to take, dude, if short-term gains, upwards of about 40%.
Oh my God.
40%. So if you put $1 million into something and within 1 year of that, you make another $1 million because you worked your ass off for that $1 million, they take, I think it's like 37% of that money.
But then if there's an economic downturn the next year and the Dow takes a fucking nosedive and you take a 40% loss, do they give you the money back?
Fuck no, they don't give a fuck. That's why, like, there's all that stuff about Trump that was so funny, is that, like, Trump went out on that when they're like, yeah, well, you're hiding all your money and you didn't pay any taxes and you wrote this off as a loss. And he's like, yeah, you bet your fucking ass I did.
That's how the game works.
And that's how you wrote the rules for the game. Sure. And all the people that donate to you, they use those same fucking rules. That's how you get funding. And people just don't want to hear that. And that's not, and, like, I'm not being like, oh, Trump, I'm not that. I don't care. It's just common sense, man. I worked my ass off. I know what I had to pay in taxes, and I know what I did after that to be like, fuck, how do I not have to pay that much in taxes ever again? How do I take that money so they don't steal all my shit from me? Yeah. Because you know what it felt like? I had to write this big fat check to the government. It felt like I took a lighter and just burned it all. That's what it felt like. You know, if they would have told me, that money's going to go towards a charity. Sure. That money's going to go towards, this is exactly what's happening. Sure. But they make making money and having success out to be some terrible, evil scheme, right? And the people that make it a happy thing are successful people, or people who work their asses off like us, and like talking about it, saying, no, go chase your dreams, and don't let these motherfuckers tell you it's a bad thing. You know?
People think I'm a Republican, and they think I'm more of a libertarian. What I really am is I'm an anti-statist. I'm an anti-government human being, because you think I don't want universal health care? You think I don't want people who are sick to get the care that they deserve and need? You think I want poor people to have to fucking beg, borrow, and steal just to feed their children? Of course I fucking don't. I want prosperity for my people. I don't believe government can do it. That is the difference. Where people are like, if we just tax the rich more, then we would have healthcare. No, we fucking wouldn't. We brought in more tax revenue than ever in our history last year. We're buying bombs. This is what we do. We don't buy books for kids. We don't fix the water supply in our country. We don't fix our food and supply chains. We don't invest in local infrastructure. We have more money than ever before, and we're not doing it now. Why do you think if we gave these people more money, they want to just buy bigger bombs?
Well, we buy books for kids, but then those books have, talking about jerking off other dudes.
That's not us. That's somebody else pays to have those books in there.
Yeah, that's my point. But come on.
The Chinese government, and this is just the truth, the Confucius Institute spends more money on American education than we do. And that's why American education is so pro-communist, because they invest in it. And that's just the truth. And the idea of a public school, get that out of your head. It's a lie. There is no such thing as a public school. There's a public park. You can go to a public park whenever you want. Public, right? There's a public square. You can go. Can you go to a public school whenever you want? Can you use the library at a public school? Can you use the gym at a public school? No, you can't. It's not public. It's government. It's government school. It's a government school. It's there. The government is there to control the next generation. If you conceptualize that, a lot of what has happened over the last 30 years makes more sense. It's not a public school. It's a government school. They're not going to put that classes and curriculum online for anybody to to learn. They're going to make you go to college. They're going to make you go to a controlled environment where they can vet and push curriculum that moves people in the direction that they want, right? It's not a public school. It's a government school. And just to put a bow on this fucking Alex Jonesian rant of mine, forgive me, but the fucking thing is this, guys. If we don't get vocal about this, they're never going to stop. What is the incentive for them to stop? They've tried. They've been tiptoeing the line. They're like, man, we can't push them any further than this. We gave the airlines $30 billion, and they used it to buy out employees who wouldn't take the shots. They coerced people into being part of a human experiment, a crime against humanity, and people who wouldn't go along with it, they used that money to buy them out. We paid for worse service. They didn't hire more people. They used it as a profit haul. They used it to improve their bottom line. Why are we okay with this? I don't understand every time somebody goes and sits on a line for 3 hours with an old lady who's about to pass out with tears in her eyes. And I'm like, well, this is just America now. This is the new normal. Nope. I feel fucking sick to my stomach. This place should be shut down until everybody's fired. Everybody's fired. Start over. Start over. There's nothing good about it. Start over.
It's broken.
It's broken.
It's broken.
If this system costs this much money, start over. Start over. Let's start from the beginning. Because this is not working. This is unsustainable. There's no way. I mean, my friends have kids, man. I was just on the road with Carol Ann Miljavic. She's got 4 kids. She's turning down gigs because it's just too expensive. It's too expensive for her to work. She can't fly, stay for 3 days, fly back, and then hire the babysitter for the kids to cover the days. She can't do it. She's a headlining comedian who sells out shows. It doesn't make sense for her to do it. It's broken, man. Like, what do we need to do to see this thing has got to fucking change? We're going to get in another war and we're going to spend how many more billions of dollars before we've done anything here?
You know what I would say, what maybe unpopular opinion is you need someone who is not Trump. You need someone who is not Biden. You need someone who is different.
Dude, RFK's dad was assassinated. His uncle was assassinated. They won't give him a debate in the Democratic Party, so he runs as an independent.
They won't even give him, security.
This is what I was getting to. They won't give him security. Yeah. They're making him pay for his own security.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
This is where we've come to.
Yeah. Or look at someone we talk about female presidents, young female presidents. I don't know why I'm brain farting because she's she's my favorite on the planet.
Tulsi
Tulsi
Gabbard.
Gabbard.
Thank you.
I love Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah,
I love her. She's incredible.
she's
man.
great. She's really great, man.
She's incredible. She's so well spoken.
She should have ended Kamala Harris's career. What
is
she did on that debate stage was incredible.
Destroyed
Was
her.
incredible.
She is so well spoken. She's professional.
Yep.
She knows how to.
And she cares about the country.
She gives a fuck
She
about
cares.
the country. She's you can see it that she's a genuinely good human being. Yet here we are, right? And it's like, you know what we need? We need someone who can, because Obama. Everyone like the thing about Obama is that he was the big things. He's a great speaker. He knew how to engage.
Charismatic.
Yeah, he's charismatic as fuck.
Great salesman. Greatest fucking insurance salesman of all time.
But like, you know who's a great salesman? Tulsi Gabbard. That woman can speak. That woman, I believe what she's saying to me as genuine. Like, it's authentic what she's saying to me. So like, but she has no chance because she was a Democrat. So she has some
They
views.
kicked her out.
Yeah, well, they kicked her out, but she was like, "Fuck this! You guys are crazy."
We've got to
And then she
evolve.
went to a Republican, but it's like, yo, man, like there's like, the problem is like you got all these people over here, right, who believe one thing on the right side. And you have all these people over here on the left side, and all these crazy people are getting all the media attention. But all the people in the middle who are like, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess that kind of makes sense. Are like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on?
That's
Like,
intentional.
we're
That's intentional.
but we hear what everyone's saying. Why aren't you listening to us? Like, but all the people that get all the attention are these morons who are like, ugh, like so angry at the fucking world on both sides. And you're like, no, man, like I hear what you're saying and I hear what you're saying, you know. But I think like someone like Tulsi Gabbard to bring it together, but that makes way too much sense for the people that we have in office today.
You're
way
right.
too much sense.
You're right.
Right?
But I mean, also we have to evolve past the idea of a Democrat and a Republican.
That's so ridiculous to me.
There's no difference. There's no. I mean, it was literally just
Two-party
proven.
system.
It was just proven that there was no tangible difference between Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy. They were in the same office working together. He didn't even kick her out of the Speaker's office. He's a Republican. She's a Democrat. Lindsey Graham's a Republican. He wants war in Ukraine worse than anybody. Mitt Romney's a Republican. Mitch McConnell's a Republican. But they go line by line with every Democrat. Right? Tulsi Gabbard's a Democrat, steps out against the party, they kick her out of the party. Joe Manchin's a Democrat, steps up against the party, he doesn't get any super PAC money, might run as an independent. There is the Uniparty, there's the globalists, and then there's, for lack of a better term, the nationalists, the localists. The globalists and the localists, these are forming new lines. And the truth of the matter is, man, is that for the first time, maybe it's always been this way. You guys are a little older than I am. Maybe it's always been this way, but for the first time in my adult life, I am 1,000% convinced these people do not have my best interest in mind.
They don't. They don't.
No,
It's
they
the
don't.
illusion of choice. If you look at the way that the Republicans and Democrats vote now on everything, there's no crossing the party lines. If you go back 20, 30 years, you would have Democrats voting over here, Republicans voting over here. There's literally zero of that now. So it's just a matter of it's attendance. Like how many seats can we fill with an R or a D? And that's the way you know all of the voting's going to go. So it's completely polarized at this point. So it's not working. It's obviously not working. The problem is that they're going to do to anyone new what they did to Trump. Trump wasn't. I mean, they pulled the fire alarm every day.
Yeah.
So everyone looks back. It's like the country was on fire. It's like, no, they just pulled the fire alarm every fucking day. So you felt like it, but everything that he was sort of, and I'm not a huge Trump fan, but he was the outsider.
That's what I liked about him.
Everyone forgets he annihilated every Republican first.
Yeah.
Literally ended Jeb Bush's career.
Yeah.
Like annihilated all of them.
that was-
and then
that was a
started
pretty epic move with
feasting
Jeb
on the Democrats after that. And so
To your point, they don't remember the Republicans kept throwing more guys out there as he ripped people in one primary, 4 more new Republicans, 16 people in that primary.
that was the signal. Like, okay, they don't know about Trump, but they know he's different and he's not one of these people. He hasn't been in politics for his whole life. You're blaming problems with the country on someone that was in politics for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, when Joe Biden's been in politics for 50 years.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi, 50 years. Feinstein, 180 years, whatever the fuck she was. I don't even think she was. I think she was an animatronic, and finally they just like the battery ran out. And,
Well,
and
you
she
know,
expired.
to your point about attendance, you know that she recorded a vote the day after she died.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
They recorded a vote for her in Congress the day after she was pronounced dead.
The fact that you have someone like Nancy Pelosi, it's not just Nancy,
Senate, I
it's
should say.
Democrat and Republicans. This happens on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But like Nancy Pelosi, because she's a pretty powerful figure for a long time, that this woman is worth $300 million.
It's insane.
And it is literally in your fucking face.
Right in your face.
It is right in your face.
Yeah.
And everyone just goes, eh.
The
Yo, man, this bitch is worth $300 million. But you know what? That fucking bitch Martha Stewart, nah, we're not doing that shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? Her,
Sam Bankman-Fried.
her,
Sam
all-
Bankman-Fried.
Come on, man. Like, if you're going to do that to that guy who's a douche, right? Total douche canoe. Like, let's fucking, like, why are we not looking at her and being like, yeah, maybe someone who makes $200,000 or whatever she makes a year
in public service.
in public
I don't know what you're
service.
insinuating, all right? She's the greatest investor of all time. Her husband's the luckiest investor of all time. They both make Warren Buffett look like a fucking retard. So I don't know what you're...
There's two things
But it's not
that
just her. It's like, what's his name?
She's just lucky.
What's
Two
his name is
things.
on? He gets brought up all the time. SEAL congressman in Texas.
Crenshaw, Dan
Yeah.
Crenshaw.
Crenshaw gets called out all the time for trading, for trading, man.
Man, he's kind of become a disappointment how quickly he was assimilated into the Uniparty, man. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
No, there's two things. Like the reason you understand that nothing's ever going to get done, and there's two things that should have happened so long ago: term limits and the fact that our Congress and our senators should not be allowed to be trading stocks while they're in office. It's ridiculous. And not only that, they shouldn't be able to be lobbyists afterwards, which is basically what happens.
because
They start their second career.
Yeah,
so
because it's not about how much money you make. It's not about they're like, oh, well, we don't want you to make money. Well, no, I don't care if you make money, but it's the fact that you're swaying something and not in the interest of the people who your number one priority is the interest of the people. And now you throw it out the window for the interest of yourself.
It's actually a theory. It's called elite capture, and it's a 30-year plan by China. So China decides, I don't need to convert 100 million Americans. I need to convert 100 influential Americans. And I don't need everybody at the university today. I need 3 deans and a university president. And in over 25 years, they'll move everybody in my direction. I mean, the actual truth of the matter, and this is going to sound salacious, and this is going to sound hyperbolic, but this is the truth. My beloved Americans, the people that listen to this, the truck drivers, the farmers, the fucking blue-collar workers, the people that listen to us, that come to our shows, man, we love you to death. You're not crazy. You got this feeling that something's not right. Something's not right. And really, the truth of the matter, when you really break it down to brass tacks, is you are living through a war. It's been 10 years, at least, of an information and propaganda war. You live through a biological war. You've lived through every sort of cold war you can live through. The war just isn't a hot fucking battle. Every other thing is happening around you, and you feel the walls closing in because, my friends, they are. You're not crazy. This is not normal, man. It's not normal. It's not normal to feel like, God, I know that this is true, but if I say it out loud, I'm going to lose my business. That's not the way things were in this country 20 years ago.
No.
You know, so I want you to know you're not crazy, but I also want you to find the will to seize the moment, because this is our moment. We have to be great. We have to stand up. We have to step up to the plate, because it's getting late in the game. The game's not over yet, but it's getting late in the game. We have to acknowledge that this is the reality, all right? And then we have to find the will to be loud about it, because then we'll be able to show the other people who feel this way but are afraid to say it that they're not alone. And then we can start a groundswell. We can start a populist groundswell. And it isn't going to be a left or a right thing. It has to be a left and a right thing.
That's the only way it works.
That's the only way it works.
That's the only way it works. And you know what? And it's the people who are it's not 40 plus people, like in age wise. I'm saying it's the kids. Like my kids are 12 and 9 years old. I have to, I ground my daughter. I take her phone away from her and she's literally a better like behaved kid when I take her phone away. She's a completely different person, right? And I'm saying that like it's hard to say no, you can't have a phone because everyone has a freaking phone. Everyone, right? And that's how they communicate. And so it's like times have evolved. You can't be completely behind it, and there's things you have to do. But for me, like I run a pretty tight ship with my kids, but at the same time, it's like you have to change how people communicate. We talk about sales and like how grinding it out. How do you build relationships with people when you don't freaking talk to them face to face? When you've been told your entire young adult life or your youth to stay away from people. You don't build relationships when you've been told from, like my daughter is 12 years old. For the last almost 4 years of her life, she's been told to stay away, to wear a mask, that like everyone's gonna get you sick, that you should be scared to talk to people. And it's like, no, you shouldn't.
Dude, and look, let's call a spade, though. I should have used a different terminology, but she's also lived her entire life being told that being white was a bad thing.
Yeah.
She's being told that she was raised by an evil, colonizing white male. You know, and now she has to internalize the fact that, wait, am I evil? Am I one of the bad guys?
To your point, I sent her to we sent her to a Catholic school. Not that I'm saying that's the best education, but we sent her to a Catholic school. And I just think it gives you good guardrails for life. But I'm saying what she's learning that is not from school per se, and not from us, because I'm definitely not teaching her that, right? But she goes on her phone, and she goes onto TikTok.
Snapchat's horrible with that stuff.
She goes onto Snapchat, and you know what she's seeing? She's seeing stuff that, like, you just can't control what they see. You can't. And then her mind makes a decision which she doesn't understand. And that's me as a parent. It's like, man.
I'm taking your phone away. You cisgender colonizer.
Yeah, but I feel like a fucking failure as a parent because I'm like, fuck, I'm taking away her Snapchat.
That's not easy, man.
I do want to. I know we're getting down to the end here. I do want to end on a positive note, but the positive note is that I do feel like people are waking up a little bit, right, Mick? I mean, I do feel like people we're getting more messages where we get like people thanking us for things that like we're talking about.
Yeah. You got to really have your head in the sand to not see what's going on.
Yeah.
But also, I think people are just sick of it and done with it. Dude, you're the chillest human being I know. You have some of the highest emotional intelligence of any human being I've ever met. What it takes to get you fired up, I would have fucking been in jail hours beforehand. And to see you get fired up at the airport, to see TSA actually like go out of their way to try to continue to antagonize you after wasting an hour and a half of your time was like, bro, what the if Mickey's getting mad, we are all finally like coming to the end of the rope here, man. You know,
it's getting bad.
Yeah, but I think the positive thing is that the more we notice it, the more we put pressure on them, and the more businesses like you guys that are willing to actually have these conversations and not shy away from the conversation. I hate the powerful, because when you have resources and you have connections and you have the ability to accumulate assets, that we need you more than anybody else.
Hey, Battle Bar is giving away $5K.
Is that right?
Boom.
Giving away $5K. And but here's the thing. I think I already know who they're giving it away to.
Oh, here we go. Friends of the program?
Let's cue this one up, bro.
Man.
Oh, Jesus.
This was so good, man.
That looks like a colonizer.
Look at the Speedo, dude.
That's our boys, Christos and Tony. Been on the show. Christos 3 times, Tony twice.
Oh, Jesus.
Tony's always in that Speedo.
That Speedo.
I don't think he really stabbed him there, though. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Maybe. He stabbed
This is one of my
there.
favorite things I've ever seen. Yeah.
Christos kills it every time, man. He's the best.
Great guys, those two.
Dude, they're the best.
fucking awesome.
They're amazing.
Tony's girlfriend was there at the gym today.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, what do you think about that speeder your boy is wearing? She's like, I don't know why.
She's got some pipes too, Annalise. She can sing, man. Look at Tony out there. Look at him go.
Great segue, though, by the way. You just went right into
I'm
it.
a professional.
Yeah.
It's like that's just time under tension. You got it.
Look at this. This is incredible. So anybody listening to Slick and Thick, this is the leader in the clubhouse, I would imagine here. This is the leader in the clubhouse. You can make a video.
Is there competition? Is there one that you can think about that's possibly better than that?
We have one that's in the works right now in Chicago that I'm hearing is pretty fucking good.
Oof! All right, people. It's all fair game here.
Yeah.
If you make a dope video, you can win that 5K. If
That's
Battle
it.
Bars
That's all
giving
you
away.
You hear that? Christian's back there like 5K. I can make a video for 5K.
Every other month though too, right? It's just not just
No,
one.
we're gonna keep doing it.
Right.
Oh, is that
So
right?
Every
Yeah, we're
60
gonna keep doing
days,
it.
so you can keep making these videos and potentially win.
The idea,
Ah.
the idea
60
was
days.
is that like
Right.
I like
You
yeah,
can actually start a career.
in this
Nice.
in this business.
Right.
We were like, yo, man, I keep paying like all these like companies to like asking me to do content and affiliate marketing. I'm like, I don't want to pay these clowns. Like to your point, like you give them money, like they're not authentic with it. Why don't I go pay the people who actually enjoy our product?
Yeah.
I would much rather write a check to someone who is seriously.
Have you thought about doing a TikTok campaign? All the kids are on TikTok, and it's great for the 18 to 39 female demographic, which I think you're severely lacking in at the moment.
Oh my
And
God.
there'll be crossover potential in international markets and blah 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 blah.
I have
blah,
learned. I have learned that every 99% of people in marketing are completely full of shit.
That's a tough way to talk about women, but okay.
Well, I mean, like, yo, man, it's like, you know, everyone says that they're the greatest, they're going to do this, and they have all this analytics, and you're like, no, you don't. You just,
Bud Light found that out.
yeah, you don't. You just don't, man. You don't. And then, you know what? What I will say is that, like, the stuff that works, like, you can get this fancy camera, dude. You can get, like, these great videos. But you know what has performed the best for us? The best performing ads? A fucking iPhone video.
Sure.
A fucking iPhone
Sure.
video gave us
Yeah.
the best ads. And you know, we worked with this company, good guys. We did this video. It was it's actually pretty funny. It's called the Boston Translator. You should check it out. It's really funny. But it's we had all these plans. We had like this big script for like 10 different videos. And then we looked up the Boston Translate. We did. There was this guy that we worked with who had this thick Boston accent. It was great. And I was like, "Fuck this! Let's just ad lib it." And we did this video where it was like, I was like, "Yo, everything that I say, I just need you to translate it into like a Boston accent. Like, how would you say what I'm saying?" And I was like, "He's like, all right, fuck it, let's do it."
Yeah.
One take.
Let me do a couple sips of CBD Killcliff, and then we'll get into character. And,
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, one. We did one take. That was it." And I was like, "Battle bars are better known and operated." And the guy's like, "Yo, fucking heroes make this shit." It's like they saw ISIS. They're like, "Yo, we hate America." And he was like, "Fuck you. See you later. Bye bye." Like this.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it was so good. You guys gotta look it up, but it was really good. But it's like that was our best performing video, and I was like, we just paid like thousands of dollars for all these scripts, and the best one was we were just fucking around.
Yeah.
We're just fucking around.
Yeah.
So that's why we're like, yeah, man, why don't we go pay people to just fuck around and see what happens? You know?
Hell yeah, I think it's brilliant. I'm
Thanks,
excited
man.
to see who the winner is and
Yeah.
see all these videos. So anything else you guys want to plug or talk about before we get out of here?
You go first.
I want to plug GW's old boss.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Battle bars.
I still have his
Put
number.
it in your mouth.
Just put it in your mouth, baby. That's whoa. You know who's got a video actually? Ryan Bader's got a video with his wife Daisy coming. That's pretty ridiculous.
Oh shit.
It is pretty ridiculous. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, he did the other. He did another one without his wife, right? This training partner was pretty good.
Yeah, we haven't put that one out yet.
And
but
people have
great.
the Slick and Thick battle bar to look forward to. You guys are welcome.
yeah, you're
Yep.
welcome. We'll like it. We'll figure
Slick
it out.
and Thick.
Well, maybe we'll put up a vote for creamsicle,
Creamsicle.
or salted
Fuck off with
caramel
that
pretzel.
creamsicle. Both of you guys,
caramel.
fuck all the way off of that creamsicle shit.
No,
This is why I
Telling
think
ya.
that they can handle it because the lemon is so good. I think they have the understanding of the citrus delicacies,
All right, G.
the delicate nature of citrus.
Agree to disagree.
I'm gonna throw carrot cake out there.
Like
I
that.
fuck with
I like
carrot
that.
cake.
I
I
like
fuck with
that.
carrot cake heavy.
I like
I
that.
fuck with it too.
I like carrot
cream
cake.
cheese icing,
Yes.
carrot cake.
Yes, get some night. Yes, dude. Now we're talking.
We made we made a bourbon bacon bar. Just for fucking around for fun.
Yeah, a little
Don't know
salty,
how that
a
would
little
be healthy,
sweet.
but
It
yeah.
was so disgusting. But my
That's real.
but my son took a bite and he was like, "Huh, it's delicious," and he chugged the whole thing down.
Yeah, I'm weird, man. I would want can I get like a dill pickle battle bar? Can I get pickles and cheese battle bar? A charcuterie battle bar?
Charcuterie battle bar. I like that.
Definitely a bottom.
Oh, you don't.
That's the name of the episode, Gerard's a bottom.
Definitely a bottom.
Gravity.
Yeah,
Gravity.
listen, to all the people out there that love my bear status, if I am anywhere near charcuterie, you're going to want to stay away from my bottom. So that's
It's called IBS.
It's called IBS, and it's disgusting. So with that, we can check out BattleBars, battlebars.com. Battlebars.com. Check out, obviously, Killcliff and all their wonderful product offerings. Check out grapplescience.com.
grapplescience.com.
Hey, if you're on the East Coast, that's what we need, man. Like, that's the biggest thing for us.
Well,
We're
most of
riding
our
out to
audience is
make
East
it.
Coast, man. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're on the East Coast, go to a 7-Eleven, go grab some s'mores bars off the shelf, buy as many as you can.
and they
take
are
pictures.
delicious, man. They're really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, facts.
If that goes well, we go national in every 7-Eleven in the entire country.
Speaking of going national, for the people that stuck all the way through this episode, the next episode of Slick and Thick is going to have a huge, massive announcement coming. So enjoy that. And
Little teaser.
For the great Mickey Gall, I'm Gerard Michaels. Our wonderful guest today, and Christian from the podcast studio, is coming in late on a Tuesday night
Christian,
here.
appreciate you, dog.
Great hair. Just great
Unbelievable
hair.
hair.
Good looking kid, right?
This has been Slick and Thick. Follow us on YouTube, Slick and Thick, on Instagram, Slick and Thick Show, on TikTok, Slick and Thick Show, everywhere else. Peace. Love you.
Bye, guys. Love you. Biggest.